Chapter 121, 2 years of peace and a new main mission. Time flows like water. To study time, one must catch its ripples. Normally that is impossible, but like waves on a pond, time's fluctuations are endless. After receiving the two secret methods, the clone began to sort through and study them from scratch, sinking into deep concentration. As for Hong and Thunder God, after that battle, Babada had been astonished at their abnormal potential and planned to let them join the Yunmo star lineage. He also provided them with resources enough to cultivate to planetary level 9, and they entered secluded training. With nothing pressing to do, Yang Wu traveled the Earth incognito, picking up mission after mission. Earth remained tranquil. Far out in the cosmic sea, a blazing star cast light and heat. A silver-gray ship cut past a 5-kilometer meteor. Inside its lounge, a handsome middle-aged man sat with his eyes closed. A faint glow pulsed on the auxiliary optical computer strapped to his wrist, an indication that part of the captain's consciousness had entered the virtual universe network, a realm of magnificent reach. Through that network, beings separated by tens of millions of light-years could meet as if side by side. Ding! The indicator blinked off, and the man opened his eyes. It cost a lot, but I finally bought the star map for this void region from 1,000,000 years ago in the Milky Way, he said, visibly excited. 1,000 light-year swath is only a tiny fraction of the Silver-Blue Empire's territory. Fortunately, there were 2 life-bearing planets in this sector back then. 2 life-bearing planets? Jackpot. The nearest one is close. At our sublight speed, it'll take 1 year and 8 months. The second will take over 130 years. The man frowned slightly. His lifespan stretched beyond 10,000 years, but a century was still a long haul. Still, 2 life-bearing planets would be a massive profit. 20 months, he mused. I hope there's good cargo. Slave traders would pay handsomely. If not, I'll just sell the whole planet. His eyes gleamed. Life-bearing worlds were priceless. Unbeknownst to Earth, an expedition adventurer ship was rushing toward it at astonishing speed. Back on Earth, the 2 peaceful years passed slowly. Yang Wu hadn't fought much with the Golden Horned Beast's clone. Its combat techniques were so different from human styles that sparring had little benefit for Yang Wu, who planned to rely mainly on his human body. Yet every improvement in genetic grade raised the energy cost for Yang Wu's next breakthroughs. Strength had its price. The World Tree clone, deprived of sufficient nutrient solution, found each advancement far harder than Yang Wu's main body. After 2 years of cultivation and stealing moments to absorb cosmic energy, that clone had reached only about 70% of astral rank 1 while using Muya crystal. Still, despite the slow rank progress, its raw power had grown tremendously. Sensing a faint disturbance outside, Yang Wu broke his meditation and opened his eyes. The Golden Horned Beast, a few thousand meters away, had vanished. In its place stood Luo Feng, short-haired and clad in black. Clearly, the Golden Horned Beast's human clone had been raised to astral rank 1. Though his features matched the Luo Feng Yang Wu remembered, a chill and a streak of bloodlust emanated from him. Is it the influence of the Golden Horned Beast's bloodline? Yang Wu wondered. The soul is fused to the body. Even if consciousness is the same, the bloodline will shape personality. Luo Feng strode several thousand meters to a nearby rock outcrop and laughed. Finally out, training in a human body takes far fewer resources than as the Golden Horned Beast. Yang Wu smiled wryly. His own climb by 1 rank had been far more grueling than Luo Feng's human clone ascent. Tempted by the universe, Luo Feng soon dragged Yang Wu back into the virtual universe. They hopped to Chulong Star and followed their plan precisely. Having reached astral rank, Luo Feng first registered his citizen identity, recovered Hu Yambo's inheritance, and bought the extensive resources they needed. With everything in order, the 2 set off in their newly purchased ship for Earth. The day after they arrived, they met Hong and Thunder God. The 4 of them discussed the human evolution plan. Though Yang Wu and Luo Feng were astral rank and far stronger than Hong and Thunder God, the 2 former top fighters still knew more about Earth's affairs. So Yang Wu and Luo Feng listened to their counsel. They decided to hold a global conference to announce the plan. Every citizen with quasi-martial artist physical quality would receive a free vial of purple light dew to raise their physical constitution to apprentice rank 1. Luofeng also supplied Hong and Thunder God with resources to cultivate up to astral rank himself, partly in recognition of their contributions to humanity and partly because of their remarkable comprehension abilities. Cultivating at astral rank is really tough, Luofeng sighed as he relaxed at home. I've just reached astral rank 3. At this pace, decades to astral rank 9. Breaking into universe rank isn't a problem. I have the Golden Horned Beast's metal-devouring technique. Once the beast clone hits universe rank, my body can naturally break through when it bottlenecks. Besides, humans are one of the universe's peak races. With enough resources, a human can climb quickly to World Lord. Becoming undying, though, that'll take work. Luofeng was no longer the novice who had first encountered the universe. Astral rank and planetary levels are different tiers of life. Slow cultivation is normal, Yang Wu said, opening his eyes. You're progressing much faster than I am. When it came to grinding missions and triggering rewards, Luofeng was the best. He triggered missions more often and earned better rewards than Hong and Thunder God by far. Yang Wu's brow rose suddenly. On his auxiliary optical computer, two icons flashed in unison. An emergency mission and a main mission, triggered together. Emergency mission and main mission. A double trigger? He muttered. You have triggered an emergency mission. Defend Earth. Mission brief. Universe adventurers have arrived with hostile intent. See what you can do. After the mission ends, you will be rewarded based on your performance in this emergency mission. You have triggered a main mission, Universe Adventurers. Optional Mission 1. Engage with them and stall until Luofeng resolves the situation. Reward, 1 primary blind box. Optional Mission 2. This is intolerable. You believe the Universe Adventurer is a pushover. Act in anger and suppress the Universe Adventurer. Reward, 10 primary blind boxes, 1 medium blind box. Optional Mission 3. Fighting is the simplest method, but not the wisest. Find a way to solve the root cause of Earth's impending exposure. Reward, 10 primary blind boxes, 1 medium blind box, slight talent increase. The blind box rewards were secondary, unpredictable, but the medium blind box was not insignificant. Mission 3, however, was interesting. Yang Wu alone couldn't handle it. He was basically a brute. But Babada's earlier suppression of the Black Dragon Mountain ship's AI had shown a level of sophistication far beyond that ship's system. These astral rank universe adventurers wouldn't be piloting extremely advanced vessels. Their ship AIs wouldn't match the Black Dragon Mountain ship, much less Babada. Babada, you can access Earth's networks easily, right? Yang Wu sent the thought. If Babada could break into the War God Palace, Earth should be trivial. Very easy, Babada replied. The various networks on Earth aren't even AIs. You're not going to ruin my enjoyment over something so small, are you? Babada added, amused. Of course not, Yang Wu said flatly. But I need your help. The Universe Adventurers have arrived. An AI might be invading Earth to gather intel. Can you conceal our existence and hide anything that makes Earth look important without anyone noticing? Is that all? Babada flared, amused. The simplest approach is to delete the material, but you mentioned an invading AI. I like that. Let me crush it on the AI level. All right, Yang Wu agreed. The strongest among them are only at the peak of astral rank. I'll handle any fighting. Babada was reliable. In the original timeline, he'd urged Luofeng to hide Earth as much as possible, and his ideas about concealment were probably broader than Yang Wu's. As for combat, Luofeng, still only astral rank stage 1, wasn't up to the task. Yang Wu would take the fight if needed, and Babada would handle the cyber side. Out in the solar system, a saucer-shaped silver-gray ship closed on Earth. From orbit, it was a beautiful sight, a blue planet that made the captain sigh. What a world, azure blue. I love it, the captain murmured, dressed in a silver combat suit and undeniably handsome. The rest of his crew were loud in a different way, howling with greed. This planet had no obvious owner. For these universe adventurers, that meant profit. Captain, a childlike head popped up on a control screen avatar. Preliminary data. This planet is nearly spherical, with a diameter of about 6,400 kilometers. Surface area, roughly 510 million square kilometers, 29.2% land, 70.8% water. Their ship AI, Atuka, rattled off the basics with mechanical efficiency. The captain's face sharpened with a hint of fanaticism. Gentlemen, it's time to harvest the fruits of victory. but we mustn't let our guard down. The crew fell silent. A planet without an owner could conceal dangers, native powerhouses that had survived cosmic history's many vagrants. Entire adventuring teams had been wiped out by a single planet's hidden powerhouse because they'd let their guard down at the wrong moment. "Understood, Captain," the crew said. "We won't be careless." "If there's no one stronger than us here, the profit will be maximum," the captain continued. "If there are powerhouses, we have two options: notify the slave traders or notify my family." Encounters with native powerhouses were common. The adventurer's mission was discovery, not direct confrontation. First step, comprehensive scanning. Atuka, begin a full planetary scan. Look for economic structure, religion, military, technology, above all, powerhouses. Prioritize data on any superhumans. "There's an information network," Atuka reported, mildly excited. "I can invade it to quickly harvest data." "Excellent," the captain said, eyes bright. An information network suggested civilization and potential riches. Atuka began its intrusion. What the adventurers brought AI retrieved seemed comprehensive, but in reality it was being fed only what Babata wanted them to see. Babata had quietly introduced censored versions of Earth's history and datasets into any system they accessed. "Captain, powerhouse data collection complete," Atuka announced. The crew leaned forward. Powerhouses defined profit and risk. If a planet's strongest beings outclassed your team, there was no point remaining. If not, the planet was ripe for exploitation. "Report," the captain ordered. "At present, the planet's population is close to 7 billion, Atuka said. Apprentice rank numbers near 1 million. There are only 2 planetary-level beings, both said to be in the Mingyue community. Astral rank, 0. The ship fell into a charged silence. 0 astral rank. If the report was accurate, Earth was practically defenseless against seasoned universe adventurers. The captain's grin widened. The crew's excitement surged. They were about to step into a world ripe for the plunder they'd been searching for. Only 2 planetary levels? Inside the ship, it fell silent. The captain and 8 crew members stared, stunned. Then the captain burst out laughing. "Ha! That's perfect!" The ape-like universe adventurer who'd come with them laughed too. 2 planetary levels only. The experts on this planet are weak. There isn't even an astral rank. The rest of the crew brightened. On their ship, the captain was the strongest, and several others had unique skills. Including the captain, there were 3 astral rank experts. Of the remaining 6 crew, 4 were planetary level 9, and 2 were support personnel. With that force, they would utterly outclass Earth's defenders. They could do as they pleased and strip the planet for resources. What they didn't know was that they had already walked into Babata's trap. Every scrap of intelligence they'd found was exactly what Babata wanted them to see. Nothing indicated Earth's true importance. The Golden Horn Beast, the psychic powers, or the force weapons were all hidden. "Captain, should we report this planet to the family?" the ship AI Atuka asked. "Report to the family?" the captain sneered. "If it were up to the family, we'd maybe get a bowl of soup. This time we'll take the meat ourselves. We'll invade, seize resources, eliminate resistance, and enslave the survivors." The crew relaxed. Babata and Yang Wu relaxed as well. The earlier chain of events hadn't been in vain. Earth would remain hidden from the Norland Mountain family's attention, and the main mission optional task 3 could be completed. "By the way, Captain, something bothers me," Atuka said. "Logically, this used to be a planet ruled by an undying existence. Why are they so weak now?" "That's easy," the captain replied with a chuckle. "That being has long since fallen. Decline is natural." "Actually," Babata said, amusement in his voice, "there's something more interesting. A creature on Earth, some kind of hacker, detected our approach and is trying to trace us back." "What? They dare try to locate us?" The captain's face darkened. "Whoever is tracking us is courting death." "These arrogant natives are amusing," the ape-like adventurer said, grinning. "They always make me laugh." "Shall we strike?" one crew member asked. Let's take out their 2 strongest first. These Earthlings might be fun," the captain said, thinking. "Enough talk. We're nearly at Earth. Let's drop by Mingyue community first." They were still laughing when Atuka, running routine scans, felt a terrifying blind spot. These natives should not have been able to set foot in the universe at all, yet somehow one of them could counter-track an AI of Atuka's sophistication. Akka was about to report the anomaly when something unexpected happened aboard the ship. "What are those?" someone cried. Smiles vanished. They watched as a silver beam of light lanced through the ship's shields and tore a great, smoking hole in the hull. The ship's communication array took the worst of it. Before anyone could fully react, the hull shuddered violently. The unprepared crew were thrown to the deck. From the shaking darkness, a towering tree erupted into existence at the edge of their vision. The experts gaped, dumbfounded. Fear wiped away their previous confidence. The world tree's branches and leaves, emerald-like gemstones, surged outward. Time-space power swelled around the foliage, a turbulent force entwining the crew. With a thunderous impact, destructive energy descended on each person. Their bodies convulsed, then froze. In a single gust, they disintegrated into countless motes of dust and vanished into the air. Even the astral rank peaks were obliterated in an instant by the astral rank 1 world tree. It wasn't impossible. An astral rank peak might be only hundreds of times stronger than an astral rank 1, but the world tree's life gene level was 3,000 times that of a normal being. In raw power, it surpassed an astral rank peak, and its comprehension of the laws far exceeded those intruders. A system prompt flashed in Yang Wu's mind. "You have met the requirements for main mission optional task 3. Do you want to settle? Settlement complete. Reward: 10 primary blind boxes, 1 intermediate blind box. Talent improved to bronze 3. Emergency mission completed. You and Babata cooperated to perfectly resolve the universe adventurer. Mission settling. Settlement complete. Reward: 1 primary blind box. Performance evaluation. Incredible. You received an incredible level extra reward. Extra reward: 10 primary blind boxes. Host name Yangwu. Race human. Talent bronze 3. Talent secret method: incarnation folded, normal excitement folded. System space: primary blind box to 21, intermediate blind box 1. Incarnation: world tree. Race: special life. Talent platinum 5. Talent secret method: control time and space folded, thorn rebound folded, tough life folded, incarnation folded, shop folded. Yangwu exhaled, finally letting himself relax. Universe adventurers were enemies. He had never been merciful to them. If victory required any methods, he would use them. Still, he couldn't help thinking that events that might have been drawn out ended far too easily because of him. That kind of abnormal performance would create butterfly effects, much like when he once gave resources directly to Luo Feng, helping him rise earlier and join Yunmo Planet, which in turn led to the early appearance of the golden horned beast. His strength had allowed him to bend the plot to his advantage, for example, gaining the astral rank sooner and obtaining the world tree clone. It was clear, strength was the root of all leverage. In the future, he would keep this in mind. The rewards from defeating the universe adventurers excited him: 21 primary blind boxes, 1 intermediate blind box, and his talent upgraded to bronze 3. A tidy haul. Babata stared at the world tree that had sprung from Yangwu with wide eyes. He had never seen a world tree before. Its power and the level of its life gene startled him. Chapter 124. Shocked Babata and opening the blind box. Order required. Yangwu's breakthrough to astral rank and his life gene level rising to 10 times that of an ordinary person had already been startling. But 3,000 times? What on earth was that? A turbulent wave of disbelief crashed through Babata. He had followed Hu Yanbo his whole life and had never encountered anyone with a life gene level 100 times normal, let alone 3,000. Oh my God, this is... Babata's heart pounded. The threshold of the time-space origin laws, and even the beginnings of integration. He stared at the world tree clone before him, stunned. He didn't need to check the fate of the universe adventurers to know how the fight would end. Reaching a life gene level of 3,000 was one thing. Even piercing the time-space origin laws and beginning to integrate them meant Yangwu's main body, at astral rank level 1, could easily kill or capture astral rank universe adventurers. Yangwu, this is... Babata's breathing sped up. Before, Yangwu's life gene level had only been comparable to Luo Feng's golden horned beast. Comparable, not equal. Ever since Luo Feng had risen, Babata had shifted his focus to him, since Luo Feng was a psyker master and the true heir of Hu Yanbo's legacy. I thought you might have guessed, Yangwu said with a secretive smile. I can make clones too. This world tree is a clone I raised. What? A clone? A world tree clone? Babata gaped. He had never seen a world tree, only heard legends of its fearsome nature. It was almost unimaginable to raise one into a clone. And how had Yangwu, whose life gene level used to be only 10 times normal, managed to nurture it successfully? I don't fully understand how it grew either, Yangwu said seriously. But don't tell anyone. He couldn't exactly explain that he'd obtained a strange keyboard, and somehow it had been used to nurture this thing. Of course, Babata promised. You and Luo Feng are crucial to the Yunmo star lineage. I wouldn't do anything stupid. Oh, right. I remember Luo Feng can make clones too. I wonder if he could ever raise one like this. Babata's eyes gleamed. That should be impossible. Yang Wu shook his head, then added, but we can still try. How will we know unless we try? Do as you wish, Babata chuckled. Luo Feng raising a world tree clone was probably a lost cause. But Yang Wu could try to nurture an incarnation of the world tree for him, the life tree. Because of the limits of the incarnation talent secret method, the life tree incarnation could only possess at most 10% of the original's strength, which would make it roughly a 300 times life gene level incarnation. For Luo Feng, an energy life form like one from the demonic killer race would be a better fit for his second clone. To reach the time-space origin laws at astral rank, he's a monster, Babata murmured in awe. If Yang Wu and his clone showed up on any planet that had already entered the universe and their aptitude was discovered, the Undying would come to recruit them as disciples. And they'd become absolute powerhouses among the Undying. Maybe even their master wouldn't be qualified to take them on. But they were born on an indigenous planet and were discovered by our Yunmo star lineage. That's fate. Babata muttered, then shifted his gaze toward Mingyu community, where Luo Feng was. Luo Feng's also impressive. He wrested the golden-horned beast away. Maybe someday he could raise a world tree clone too. He almost exploded with excitement, but the great demon lord Babata forced himself to keep his composure. He couldn't be seen gushing over a mere genius. Primary blind boxes. Open them all. Yang Wu willed it, and the boxes began to open. Open primary blind box. Congratulations, obtained a signed photo of I Want to Play Yasuo. Not as handsome as me, not as rich as me, not as magnetic as me, Yang Wu said, pouting at the photo. Still, the reward had a real effect. Signed photo of I Want to Play Yasuo. The little boost to luck made Yang Wu's eyes shine. He didn't know much about whoever I Want to Play Yasuo was, but the card could be powerful. Opened primary blind box. Congratulations, obtained 100 mall coins. Opened primary blind box, obtained 188 mall coins. Damn, more mall coins, and not even the top tier. But mall coins were useful. Opened primary blind box. Congratulations, obtained 1 potential point. Another potential point, that's 5 now. 5 more, and I can upgrade my talent. Yang Wu's face brightened. Opened primary blind box. Congratulations, obtained 2 potential points. 2 more potential points. Double the joy. Yang Wu kept opening boxes. In the end, the batch of primary blind boxes yielded a signed photo, 8 potential points in total, and almost 2,000 mall coins. The photo was more a novelty than anything, but the luck +1 was something he preferred to have than not. Having read Luo Feng's story and witnessed his growth, Yang Wu had some sense of how luck worked. Luck was invisible, but real. Those blessed with extraordinary luck seemed favored by heaven and earth, often aided by circumstances that piled up in their favor. It wasn't invulnerability. Luo Feng's clone had died multiple times after all, but it could tilt events in dramatic ways. A person born as the heir to a great power or taken as a disciple by one would enjoy unusual protections, while someone who stumbled across a world-changing treasure might see their fortunes surge. Kill that fortunate person and seize the treasure, and your luck might climb instead. The talent war and the various secret realms gathered such fortune like a magnet. Stand out there, and you could receive powerful blessings. Examples abounded. Hong and Thunder God eventually rose to become a universe strongest and a universe lord. That kind of ascent wasn't pure strength. It was luck and opportunity as much as talent. Luck +1, small but significant. And the 8 new potential points added to the 4 he already had pushed him past 10. He could finally upgrade his talent. Chapter 125. Luck, Hong's Intent. He didn't plan to use the points right away. He wanted to wait until he obtained a Territory Lord rank bloodline inside the world in a world. The human races across the universe were vast, millions of branches, but their bloodlines could be roughly ranked into 10 grades. First grade human bloodlines reach Territory Lord rank as adults. Second grade reaches Universe rank. Third and fourth grades both reach Astral rank. Fifth and sixth reach Planetary. Seventh and eighth reach Apprentice level. Ninth and 10th don't reach any rank in adulthood. They're classified according to cultivation talent and the likelihood of strong individuals appearing. Ordinary Earthlings, for example, sit around 9th grade. Yang Wu's current talent was Bronze 3, which already put him far above 9th grade. But the higher the talent, the harder it is to raise, and Territory Lord is essentially the upper limit for human bloodlines. Beyond that, you can only rely on your own efforts. That's why people like Luo Feng could take over a World Lord rank Golden Horned Beast, or Yang Wu could cultivate a terrifying World Tree clone. If he could get a Territory Lord rank bloodline, it might at most lift him to Bronze 1. Using the potential points now might push him to Bronze 2, but even if he used the bloodline later, he'd probably only reach Bronze 1 in the end. So the sensible plan was to save the points now and use them after obtaining the bloodline, when he could consolidate that growth. As for the nearly 2,000 mall coins, small change, even less than what he'd earned on ordinary missions over the past 2 years. Still, it was an extra gain from these 2 missions. Not impressive, but better than nothing. "Let's open the intermediate blind box early," Yang Wu said with a chuckle. "Early use, early enjoyment." Opening intermediate blind box. "Congratulations, you have gained 5 points of luck." "Not bad," Yang Wu murmured. It wasn't as bluntly powerful as the miraculous keyboard he'd gotten before, but luck could sway an entire life. Both the keyboard and this luck reward were excellent, just different kinds of advantages. The intermediate blind box, at least, didn't disappoint as badly as the primary one sometimes did. Time flowed on. "What brings Hong here?" Luo Feng asked. With enough resources, both Hong and Thunder God had shot up in cultivation. Both were now Astral rank. Yang Wu and Luo Feng rose into the air as well. "Counting us too, our planet now has 4 astral ranks," Luo Feng said. "That should be enough for us to stake a place in the universe, barely." "Don't be complacent," Babata warned. "For an indigenous planet to avoid being subjugated, you need at least 1 universe rank or even a territory lord to appear." Luo Feng's elation faded at that reminder. "Don't forget the universe adventurer incident last time. If it weren't for Yang Wu, that could have been disastrous. With the optimal metal combination I bought this time, my Golden Horned Beast body should reach universe rank in at most half a year," Luo Feng said, eyes narrowing. "Then my human clone can break through, and maybe I can even cultivate a World Tree clone like Yang Wu's. Then I could truly protect Earth." "Don't," Yang Wu's mouth twitched. "Don't rush your breakthrough. If Luo Feng pushed into universe rank right now, he probably couldn't participate in the talent war. And if Lord Luo ascended too quickly, he wouldn't be able to benefit from Luo Feng's luck aura anymore." 3 beings beyond planetary level, someone in the crowd shouted, pointing upward. "Yang Wu? Luo Feng? Curator? That's Hong! I actually saw them with my own eyes," another voice cried. Hong's purpose for coming was straightforward. Ever since the Great Nirvana era, true progress came from squeezing out potential in battle. Monsters no longer posed a real threat to them, and because life and death crises were rare, even Hong's terrifying comprehension had felt his improvement slowing. "I came because I've reached astral rank, and I plan to go into the universe as a mercenary and adventurer," he announced. "Also, my domain has just broken through to a new level. I want to spar with you, Yang Wu." Although his voice wasn't loud, the crowd was mostly warriors and several warlords, so everyone heard him clearly. "Spar?" Murmurs ran through them. Some wondered if this was a challenge for the title of the world's strongest, but Hong's intent wasn't for a title. He genuinely felt stagnated and wanted a real, intense fight to push his potential. "Sky duel?" Yang Wu asked. "Shall we take it there?" "All right, let's fight in the sky," Hong said. His dark eyes blazed with battle intent. Back when Yang Wu had been Astral Rank Stage 1, he'd crushed the Golden Horn Beast with ease, showing tremendous combat power. Hong didn't know how much stronger Yang Wu had become but he was eager to see what surprises Yang Wu might bring. Yang Wu nodded and flew up with Hong. Babata, how many moves do you think Yang Wu will last against Hong? Luo Feng asked, curious. He knew Yang Wu was Astral Rank Stage 1 with a tenfold life gene level. He also knew Hong, once the world's strongest, although Astral Rank Stage 1 commanded a domain many Universe Rank cultivators lacked. Given the rarity and power of Hong's domain, the pressure from it could be decisive. Babata burst into laughter at the question, clutching his belly. How many moves? Against Hong? He said between chuckles. Hong's domain, already exceptional at planetary rank, was terrifying, but strength is relative. Crossing the time-space origin laws barrier alone put Yang Wu far beyond a 9th-level domain, and Babata suspected that because astral rank adventurers were commonly weak, they hadn't yet forced Yang Wu to reveal all his methods. In other words, Yang Wu might be hiding much more power. What's so funny? Luo Feng asked Babata in confusion. Because Luo Feng's Golden Horn Beast hadn't yet broken to universe rank, he had no domain to speak of. He was in the middle of ascending and wanted to witness Hong's domain for himself. The sky above the planet thrummed with tension as the 4 astral rank figures prepared to test themselves against one another, each driven by their own reasoning, each eager to break through whatever limits lay ahead. Chapter 126, Challenge the Task, Learn While Playing, Ask for Order. To Luo Feng, Hong was an undefeated legend, his name cast a long shadow. Yang Wu's rise had been fast in Luo Feng's eyes, but he'd also been handed opportunities he didn't strictly earn. He'd even given the Golden Horn Beast to Luo Feng. Because of that, Luo Feng already held a very high opinion of Yang Wu's ability. 10 moves? That's ridiculous. Babata stopped laughing and said, if we're being generous, maybe 3. If he's serious, 1 move is enough. As expected of the world's number 1, Luo Feng breathed. The idea that someone could beat Yang Wu easily, yet still be defeated by a serious Hong in a single move shocked him. Babata covered his mouth and chuckled. He wanted to see how Luo Feng would react to such a contrast, so he didn't spoil the truth. He preferred Luo Feng to witness it himself. Still, Luo Feng mused, the curator wouldn't come just to end things in 1 move. That'd be meaningless. Hong doesn't strike me as that kind of person. Maybe they'll fight for hundreds of moves. By then, the 3 astral ranks had arrived in the starry void above Earth. Yangzhou City had shrunk to the size of an egg beneath them. Not far off, Jiangnan Base City loomed, several times larger. Go all out? Or spar slowly? Yang Wu wondered. Hong had advanced his domain and now matched the combat power of Luo Feng's Earthling clone. Breaking into astral rank himself had boosted Yang Wu's power again, but compared to Hong, he still lagged. The World Tree clone, after years of quiet development, was no weakling. Its combat strength was alarmingly high. Because the clone and Yang Wu's main mind were connected, insights the World Tree gained were effectively Yang Wu's. Without relying on the World Tree, Yang Wu's main body could already dispatch Luo Feng's Golden Horn Beast at Astral Rank 6 with ease. This was the power of Origin Law's comprehension. With such an advantage, flashy moves weren't necessary. The result seemed clear, a crushing victory. Hong's no match for me. Beating him is only a matter of time. If fighting Hong's hard, why bother with the World Tree clone? Yang Wu smiled, shook his head, and idly checked his panel. Not long after Hong moved to spar, the much-anticipated challenge mission popped up. The power gap in this battle was huge, but the fight's significance triggered the mission anyway. It was the familiar persist for enough time type. The reward was only a primary blind box and one of Hong's abilities, far less than what the Golden Horn Beast had yielded, but fair given the disparity. Of course we'll go all out, Hong's eyes flashed. He'd heard something. But going all out would be the most meaningless thing for both men. Hong wanted a real spar, and Yang Wu wanted to maximize mission rewards. Luo Feng hovered a few hundred meters away, watching. Notifications had pinged across the major powers. Their observation satellites swiveled to this patch of sky. With current tech, a satellite could magnify a city dweller's face down to pores. Under the 3 combatants, even the vast white clouds looked like fragments. Begin, Hong said, battle intent plain in his eyes. A long spear materialized in his hand, and darkness spread from him in a 100-meter radius. Luo Feng recognized the sign at once. A domain. Light, depending on intensity, could be perceived as light or darkness, and Hong had embraced the path of darkness. Yang Wu's aura surged at once. Inside the black veil, Hong murmured, sensing majesty and resisting Yang Wu's will suppression. Hong's will was hardened by leading humanity through the bloody path out of the Great Nirvana era. Compared with many martial artists of his rank, his resolve was much firmer. But Hong's expression stiffened, and Luo Feng grew puzzled. Something had changed with Yang Wu, a nuance Luo Feng couldn't quite explain. Yang Wu casually drew a dark battle blade in an instant. The Blood Shadow battle blade flared with an unbearable brilliance as if 1,000 flames converged and then vanished. If Luo Feng hadn't been watching closely, he would have thought he'd hallucinated. The blade disappeared? Luo Feng frowned, then realized, no, it hadn't vanished. It had only become invisible to the eye. Time and space seemed distorted. Even mental force perception wavered. Luo Feng's face registered shock. He hadn't expected Yang Wu to be capable of this. A spatio-temporal domain that affects light? Hong frowned. He had a vague impression his own dark domain had somehow brightened. Babata almost shouted, "He's doomed. Hong won't even last one move." Even after following Hu Yanbo across thousands of galaxies, Babata had rarely seen anyone fuse and wield the origin laws of space and time so thoroughly. Hong, cloaked in black, tightened his grip on a silver spear. Lightning flashed in his eyes. The 100-meter sphere around him was pure black, as if he were a god at its center. He charged straight at Yang Wu. The two met, and the battlefield erupted. Waves of origin force collided, and the air filled with chaotic beams. Luo Feng had to step back to avoid the spillover. Is Yang Wu copying Hong's moves? Babata wondered aloud. With Yang Wu's world tree comprehension, plus his own grasp of the law of time, picking up a light-based domain, the law of light being a subordinate of time, wasn't as difficult as it sounded. Yang Wu's world tree was using its terrifying comprehension in real time. Yang Wu fought and learned, refining his state and deepening his understanding of the light domain as they clashed. Each time, the fight grew a little easier for him. Hong, by contrast, was straining. To outsiders, it looked like he was consistently suppressing Yang Wu, but every time Hong neared finishing him, Yang Wu would burst forward with another sudden surge. The duel tore on, a brutal exchange of learning and countermeasure, two masters testing limits, one learning while he fought, the other refusing to yield. Chapter 127, Hong's Ability, an Extraordinary State of Mind, Order Required. Hong's expression shifted, becoming utterly solemn. It wasn't that he had never fought experts who had comprehended a domain. Thunder God was one. Normally, with the strength of Yang Wu's current domain, anyone without a domain would have been exposed long ago. Yet Yang Wu's domain wrapped around him like a tightly woven net, tenacious, unyielding, seemingly impossible to tear. It made Hong feel strained, and he dared not be careless. One mistake would mean instant defeat. Domain versus non-domain used to be Hong's advantage, but now he found himself suppressed. The fight dragged on, plain, brutal, utterly relentless. Eventually, Yang Wu received a reward, a primary blind box and a talent ability. You have received a reward, obtained one of Hong's abilities. Random extraction in progress. Extraction complete. Please choose one of the following abilities as a reward. 1. Extraordinary mindset. Mind, ethereal, and boundless. 2. Light talent. Easier comprehension of light laws. 3. Precise body control. Greatly enhances body control, making power exertion more harmonious. 4. Exquisite taste. Charm 100%, increasing the likelihood of gaining favor from certain people. 5. Willpower burn. Burns soul and will, producing an extreme burst for up to 1 minute, plus 1000% attack intensity. Minimum side effect is complete loss of resistance after 1 minute. Yang Wu blinked in surprise. Is this revealing Hong's true foundation? The first ability needed no further explanation. This was the mindset Hong had cultivated over decades of an invincible career. In Devouring the Heavens, mindset is roughly divided into 3 levels. The first level, like the future Luo Feng, sees into true nature and strikes at the heart, a mind like a blade. Many Buddhist and Taoist texts call that enlightenment. The second level, like the current Thunder God, is unity with heaven and man, innocence restored. It's considered the theoretical peak. The third level, like the future Hong, is an infinitely vast mind that embraces everything, a seemingly impossible state. Hong was probably not fully at that third tier yet, but he was close. It was his extraordinary mindset that allowed him to rise later on. The second ability, light talent, would suit Hong well, but for Yangwu, who had a world tree clone, its priority was low. The third improved power control, but it was unremarkable in the overall ranking. The fourth added charm, useful in a pinch, but Yangwu didn't rely on looks. The fifth was a terrifying burst move. Its ceiling far exceeded Yangwu's normal excitement. In the original tale, Hong and Thunder God had once used it against the Golden Horned Beast, but afterward, Hong lay like a vegetable for 2 full years. The side effects were brutal. You have obtained the talent Extraordinary Mindset. After a quick look, Yangwu chose. The other options were either ordinary, redundant, or low priority. Mental cultivation was priceless to any strong individual. Extraordinary Mindset was extremely valuable. He grinned inwardly. Watch closely, Hong. This is what you want. Go all out. Yangwu suddenly became calm, almost too composed, as if acclimating to the new talent. He stared toward the darkened zone hundreds of meters away and casually swung the black battle saber in his hand. At a research station, an analyst watched his instruments and cried out in horror. The dozen or so satellites monitoring the area seemed to freeze, their transmission feeds suspended in that instant. This is the time-space origin laws, Babata said with a complicated expression. Comprehending a law is one thing, being able to unleash and utilize it is another. Those who could actually wield the laws they understood were monsters, true super-strongs, even among the undying. So this is the move Babata mentioned, Luo Feng muttered to himself, trying to calm the shock in his chest. It was the first time he had seen a warrior-level duel reach this magnitude. Yangwu's single saber stroke shattered all his preconceptions about warriors. Hong's eyes shone unusually bright, as if a new world had opened up to him. He no longer viewed combat as merely close-quarters technique. He saw the vast power of universe origin forces. That is, Hong murmured, more to himself than to anyone else. He looked at Yangwu with hungry anticipation, waiting for confirmation. The result of this fight had far exceeded his expectations. He had only hoped for a satisfying match, perhaps a hint of improvement. He had not expected the gulf and the enlightenment to be this profound. That is the universe origin laws, Yangwu said with a nod. Some mundane natural laws, once combined at the universe origin level, multiply in power. As the original story said, a law threshold expert can topple a 9th-level domain expert of the same standing with a single move. Universe origin, laws. Hong whispered, lowering his head in contemplation. A new realm had revealed itself. He felt that stepping into it would skyrocket his strength. Hey, as expected of Yangwu, a genuine number one, Babata chuckled softly. He watched Luo Feng's face, satisfied. So you weren't talking about Hong, but about Brother Yang, Luo Feng said after a long pause, his voice mixed with annoyance and awe. Strange, how do you understand Yangwu so well when you haven't known him long? Because you simply don't understand Yangwu, Babata replied with an odd smile. The sparring ended inconclusively. Yangwu, Luo Feng, and Hong relaxed into an easy conversation. Right now, Earth is peaceful, and it's already begun to integrate with the universe. There's no need for us to protect it deliberately, Hong said with a faint smile. Dancing on the edge of life and death, that's the life with passion. His eyes glittered. Now that I'm qualified for the Universe Mercenary Apprentice Assessment, I can't hold back. Thunder God and I have already agreed to register with the Universe Mercenary Alliance in a few days, he added. Life and death adventures. Those were rites of passage for the strong. Breaking past mortal limits again and again, surpassing oneself repeatedly. This was the way of the powerful. Yet Earth was a blessed ground for them at the moment, posing no real threat. Why did life and death combat accelerate growth? Why did it trigger sudden enlightenment and rapid evolution? Because facing death induces an overwhelming instinctive response, like the reflex to close your eyes when a needle approaches. Confronted with mortal peril, every cell fights back reflexively. Even genetic material seems to accelerate, driving bloodline evolution. Terror at the brink of death pushes body and soul to peak states that cannot be achieved through comfort or careful training alone. Chapter 128, Mainline. All the Thunderstones collected, requesting orders. When people faced life or death situations, they were more likely to comprehend, evolve, and leap forward in power. Decades of painstaking cultivation might yield nothing, but a single crisis could shatter a bottleneck. That was why so many powerhouses deliberately threw themselves into danger and fought for their lives. Yang Wu, however, had always relied on the system to hand him bonuses. He had almost never felt that pressure before. "You guys?" Luo Feng blinked in surprise. "What about you?" Hong asked Yang Wu and Luo Feng. "Are you going or not?" Luo Feng saw the fire in Hong's eyes and felt hope surge within him. Adventure. Yes, he wanted adventure too. Back in the wilderness area, fighting monsters to the death had kept his pulse raw and his spirit high. "Let's go. Of course we'll go together," Luo Feng said. "Count me in," Yang Wu nodded. Since Luo Feng was planning to go, their first mission would probably be in the Thunder World. The treasures there still tempted Yang Wu. Besides, no one understood the Thunder World like he did. He was confident he could maximize his gains. The dark blue, triangular universe cruiser rose and shot through the atmosphere, vanishing from Earth's vicinity. 10 days later, the Universe Mercenary Alliance base on Chu Long Star spread out like a city. Yang Wu, Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God, and an astral rank bodyguard entered the base. Mercenary teams needed at least 5 members, so they were the minimum. The Alliance had many registered adventurers, but relatively few Universe Apprentice mercenary applicants, so Yang Wu's team didn't need to queue. 3 Astral Rank 9th Stage Psyker Masters, 1 Astral Rank 5th Stage Martial Artist, and 1 Astral Rank 4th Stage Martial Artist. The registration console recited, "You all meet the requirements for the Apprentice Mercenary Assessment. The fee is 10,000 Black Dragon coins per person," the clerk said. Very well, they paid. "Here are the details of your assessment mission. Please read them carefully." After swiping their adventure cards, the 5 IDs were entered into the Universe Apprentice Mercenary Assessment System, and they were cleared to take the test. They then found a nearby bar, ordered drinks, and began studying the mission brief. Enter the Lord World on Kanglan Star and obtain 3 Windhorn stones, 1 horn from a 1-horned iron rhino. Yang Wu read aloud, then a system ping interrupted. "You have triggered a main quest, World Within a World. Quest hint, this is a long-term quest. Rewards depend on your gains inside the World Within a World. Current progress, 0%. Note, progress is not fixed. If others gain more, your progress may decrease accordingly. Quest time is not fixed and may be terminated at any time. If you end the quest when progress is below 5%, it counts as a failure. Only when progress exceeds 50% will you receive a talent improvement reward. Other rewards depend on final progress." Yang Wu recognized the name, Kanglan Star, and the world within a world that hid inside the World Lord assessment. That inner world changed periodically, which complicated things, but Yang Wu had an advantage. He already knew the real value of Thunderstones. While everyone else would greedily dig for Cosmic Crystal, he intended to collect Thunderstones first with Babada's help. They discussed their plan, then boarded a Universe cruiser and headed for Kanglan Star, a place even more notorious than Chu Long Star. Several days into the World Lord assessment, they had been wandering for days. A cave mouth with a strange, dark void loomed ahead, a black hole that tears open into the Thunder World. Luo Feng frowned at the cave entrance. "Babada, what exactly is this?" "It should be an entrance to another world," Babada replied, surprised. "Yes, a world entrance." Luo Feng's luck held again. He had found the very world within a world Yang Wu had been searching for. "That's it, follow me," Yang Wu said. Inside the world within a world, the group hugged the ground and flew fast. The World Lord assessment itself hosted thousands of adventurers, but once they slipped into the inner world, they quickly lost sight of anyone else. A handful of people in such a vast place was like a drop in the ocean. "In a world this big, who knows where the treasures are?" Luo Feng complained, scanning the horizon. "We can search slowly, rely on luck," Babada said, amused. "But we can also start by digging for Cosmic Crystal. That's a fortune in itself." Babada's detectors chirped with treasure reports. At a depth of 3,200 meters, there are Cosmic Crystal deposits of about 3,000 cubic meters, worth around 10 billion Ganwu units. Ahead, At 1,900 meters depth, another deposit, roughly 2,000 cubic meters, more than 6 billion Ganwu units. For perspective, Luo Feng's first sub-account from Hu Yanbo's legacy at astral rank had been worth only 10 billion Ganwu units. The deposits Babata detected already exceeded tens of thousands of cubic meters of crystal. Yet Yang Wu did not care much about cosmic crystal. In this world, thunderstones were the true prize, extremely rare and far more valuable, and they would inevitably trigger bloodshed when their value became known. Apart from Yang Wu, no one else understood their importance. The entire world within a world held treasures valued at more than 200 primal chaos units. If Yang Wu could gather enough thunderstones, he could exchange them all for huge returns. He had no intention of telling his teammates why these stones mattered. They had already agreed on how to split spoils, and once Yang Wu converted thunderstones into tradable assets, he would share the proceeds. Whatever they received would still far exceed what they had gotten in the original timeline. As Luo Feng and the others concentrated on excavating cosmic crystal, Yang Wu's main quest progress on the world within a world fell into negative numbers. Other teams' gains affected his percentage. He didn't worry. Cosmic crystal were plentiful, but not decisive. He kept searching for thunderstones, which Babata could detect with ease, though Babata sometimes complained at the grunt work. 80 kilometers ahead, at a depth of about 800 meters, thunderstones detected. Within a 100-kilometer radius, there are 17,458 thunderstones, Babata reported. In this 100-kilometer sector, 8,757 thunderstones. In that 100-kilometer sector, 75,875 thunderstones. Babata's voice kept echoing in Yang Wu's head as he mapped the deposits and directed the digs. 3 days later, Yang Wu finally stopped and surveyed the results. The thunderstones in this world within a world should basically be all collected, he chuckled. There might still be a few scattered fragments, but they were insignificant. All that remained was to walk to the central castle of this inner world and wait for the harvest to be realized. Chapter 129. All? Order required. Haha! I've almost collected every thunderstone. I can definitely exchange for all the treasures, Yang Wu murmured, eyes narrowing. He wasn't even thinking about the market value right now. The main quest was what mattered. If he exchanged for all the treasures, he would at the very least receive the talent boost from completing the main quest. And the treasures themselves were worth a terrifying sum. Once sold, they could fund whatever he wanted to do. Across the realm of realms, the landscape was natural and varied. Swamps, deserts, lakes, plains, mountains, grasslands. Only one structure stood out. A deep blue castle on the plains, built at the very center of the realm, directly beneath the great sphere of light. A castle in that position was obviously a treasure vault, and it was far easier to find than the thunderstones. Now that Yang Wu had already collected the stones, he planned to wait here for the castle to open. The moment it did, he would go in and make his exchanges, leaving no one a chance to interfere with his main quest. A week later, the Realm of Realms officially opened. Astral rank cultivators poured in, cautious and alert. Riches were plentiful here, but so were dangers. Then suddenly, streaks of electric serpents erupted from the castle, lightning wrapping the whole building. The bolts intensified until the ancient fortress became a lightning castle, shimmering with electricity. Yang Wu watched in silence as the castle stood proud beneath the storm. Crack, crack, crack. The great gate groaned and started to open. Laughter, hearty and triumphant, rang out from within, echoing across the heavens and the earth. "Welcome, everyone, to the Realm of Realms," a deep voice boomed. "I have waited for this day for over 10 million years." Beams of light converged above the castle and formed a virtual figure, a chubby, white-bearded old man. "Why are you the only one?" The white-bearded old man looked around and found only Yang Wu. "Still, no matter, little fellow. It's an opportunity for you to come here. You came for the realm's treasures, didn't you?" "Of course," Yang Wu said, unperturbed. "You're very straightforward." The white-bearded old man chuckled and gestured. "My master placed his treasures in the Realm of Realms, and I'm their guardian. My master has many treasures," he pointed, and the sky above the castle filled with a huge screen covered in item icons. "Look!" The white-bearded old man had clearly cataloged everything. There are 68 types of treasures, 312 items in total. He tapped the screen and a ranking list appeared. Noble 1, complete set of space secret method inheritance crystal ball bank account, triple account. Number 2, master's deposit bank account. Number 3, territory lord rank bloodline potion. Number 4. Number 8, 5th tier force weapon, heavenly fire wheel. Yang Wu had some background on several of these items. The inheritance crystal ball package was a trick used by this intelligent life form in his world. In the original story, the world lord from Black Dragon Mountain was severely deceived by it. The bank account's authenticity was ambiguous in the original, but after Thunder God obtained that set of lightning inheritance, he ended up inheriting World Lord Kabu. The white-bearded old man became Thunder God's grandfather and then had a long-term cultivation plan, which certainly couldn't be accomplished without resources. So the second-ranked item very likely was another trap. What Yang Wu truly coveted was the third item, the territory lord rank bloodline. If he obtained it, his talent would undergo a major transformation. The territory lord bloodline was extraordinary and would at least boost his talent. By how much he couldn't be sure, but it would be significant. He also had a quest settlement card that could instantly complete any potential promotion quests, plus 12 potential points he could apply. Completing this main quest in the Realm of Realms would stack another talent boost on top of everything else. This trip mattered more than almost anything else for his development. The other treasures could be sold for money later, except for whatever proved useful. This world lord sure is rich, Babada's shocked voice rang out. Do you see clearly? These are my master's treasures, the white-bearded old man said, pointing to the display. Do you want them? Of course, Yang Wu said casually. Every treasure here can be exchanged for Thunderstones, and each has an exchange cost. The list on the screen shifted. No. 1, complete set of space secret method inheritance crystal ball bank account, triple account. Each account requires 10 million Thunderstones. The 3 accounts together allow access to the inheritance crystal ball stored in the universe first bank. Number 2, master's deposit bank account, requires 8 million Thunderstones. Number 3, territory lord rank bloodline potion, 1 portion. Each portion requires 3 million Thunderstones. Number 8, 5th tier force weapon, heavenly fire wheel, 1 item. Each item requires 100,000 Thunderstones. Babada's eyes widened. He stared at Yang Wu in astonishment. How had Yang Wu gathered Thunderstones here in advance? How did he know their values? Such coincidences had happened to Yang Wu many times before, and none of it made sense. But Babada didn't need an explanation. He saw that Yang Wu would gain the greatest advantage from the Realm of Realms, and that was enough. If Yang Wu rose, Yunmo planet would rise with him. I want to exchange for treasures now, Yang Wu said. Do you accept Thunderstones? The white-bearded old man looked puzzled. Do you have Thunderstones? Of course, quite a lot. Yang Wu smiled faintly. What do you want to exchange for? Only children choose. Of course, I want them all. Yang Wu waved his hand, and a mountain-sized pile of Thunderstones appeared around him. The white-bearded old man was speechless. In the original plan, he had intended to reveal the treasure's values to incite competition among entrants and thereby find a worthy inheritor. He hadn't expected his scheme to fall apart before it even began. His mind nearly burst at the sight of Yang Wu's Thunderstone Mountain, but he recovered quickly, and with a wave of his hand, treasures began to float through the ancient hall. This is the 5th tier force weapon, Heavenly Fire Wheel. This is Chapter 130, Domain Lord Bloodline, Troublesome Promotion Tasks. Some things can't be explained by luck, the white-bearded old man said with a slight smile. He didn't elaborate. He simply handed all the treasures over to Yang Wu. Every item had been a prized possession of that world lord. Each was astronomically valuable. Together, they were worth more than an entire galaxy, far surpassing the wealth of even a newly ranked world lord. After receiving them, Yang Wu's gains were enormous. Both Yang Wu and Babada felt it was unwise to linger. Digging for cosmic crystals underground wasn't necessary. Any one of the treasures could be exchanged for endless quantities of cosmic crystals. When Yang Wu returned to where Luo Feng and the others were still excavating, Luo Feng waved excitedly. Let's go! Babata, even more anxious than Yang Wu, telepathically warned Luo Feng. Luo Feng caught the urgency and, without hesitation, took Hong and Thunder God and slipped away with them. Kanglan Star, ancient city. News that a world within a world had opened spread fast. An undeveloped world like that meant untold cosmic crystals, wealth beyond imagining, so adventurers swarmed to the site. The five who emerged from the world within a world didn't attract much attention amid the crowd. "There are a lot of strong people on Kanglan Star. We should leave right away," someone said. "What about the assessment mission?" another asked. "We can't worry about that now," came the reply. "All right, let's head for Chu Long Star first." Without even submitting their mission, Yang Wu and the others made a decisive choice, hurried to the starport, retrieved their cosmic shuttle, and left Kanglan Star. 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, cosmic shuttle. The ship shuddered and then shot into the dark universe at 1.2 times light speed, rapidly closing the distance in their chosen direction. In the ship's lounge, Yang Wu took out one of the treasures, a Domain Lord rank bloodline vial. "A Domain Lord rank bloodline is the pinnacle among human bloodlines," he said, eyes sharp. "I wonder how much my talent will improve after using it." Talent improvement mattered desperately to Yang Wu, so he didn't hesitate. He uncapped the syringe, pierced his skin, and injected the colorful liquid. The Domain Lord rank bloodline acted like a spreading cancer, devouring Yang Wu's cells as it worked to rewrite his deepest biological foundations. A pain like being ripped into 1,000 pieces crashed through him. "Damn it," Yang Wu groaned and curled up on the floor. Soul-shredding agony racked his body. He clenched his teeth until his gums bled. Streaks of fresh blood bled from the corners of his mouth. "Bear with it," Babata urged. "This rewrites the bloodline from the root. It's supposed to be agonizing." "How much longer?" Yang Wu's consciousness trembled. "Very soon, less than an hour," Babata said. "An hour." Yang Wu tightened his jaw and endured. He already had Hong's innate ability, the extraordinary mindset, and his willpower matched Hong's. His disposition and endurance had improved accordingly. He didn't know where his limits lay now, but this wasn't ordinary pain. This was tearing at the very fabric of his being. Blood welled. His body shook, but a stubborn resolve creased his brow. Inside, every cell had become a battlefield. Muscle, bone, marrow, each undergoing violent transformation. The bloodline evolution the vial triggered was an accelerated, ruthless rewriting of his biology. After an hour, Yang Wu lay sprawled and exhausted. His clothes were soaked and clung to his newly defined muscles. He didn't move. "Too tired," he murmured. "My whole body feels scattered. I don't even want to lift a finger," he added, forcing a faint smile. Despite the destruction, a deep, bone-level comfort flowed through him after the transformation, an odd, profound relief. The process had consumed a huge amount of life force, so Yang Wu immediately used Muya crystals, treasures rich in life energy and known to promote life evolution. Sitting cross-legged with a Muya crystal in hand, he let the life force stream into him. The newly altered cells were ravenous, devouring every drop of vitality that poured in. Successfully used Domain Lord rank bloodline potion. Talent improved to Bronze 1, the system announced. His talent had reached the upper limit of the bronze tier, and a promotion mission popped up on his panel. Talent reached Bronze 1, triggering promotion mission. External conditions referenced, strength referenced, reference complete, mission generated. Promotion mission, strongest trial. Mission brief, achieve first place in the talent war and comprehend the sublimation of your talent level. Mission completion condition, participate in the talent war and achieve first place. Completion reward, talent transforms to Silver 5. Mission failure condition, break through to become Universe rank. Failure penalty, talent drops to Bronze 2. Truthfully, with the World Tree clone and its terrifying talent, taking first place was not impossible. He had the means. The real problem was timing. The talent war hadn't started yet and wouldn't be held for another 5 or 6 years. All told, he might have to wait about 10 years before he could even attempt this. That made the mission impractical to complete in the short term. Thankfully, Yang Wu had once drawn a mission settlement card from a primary blind box. He used it without hesitation. The promotion mission was instantly resolved, the fastest mission completion he'd ever had. Chapter 131, Magical Blind Box, 9 Calamities Secret Manual. You have successfully completed the promotion mission. Talent transformation in progress. Talent transformation complete. Silver 5. At that instant, Yang Wu felt as if he had struck a chord with the universe. A steady stream of strange energy flowed into him, and a mysterious secret mark appeared on his body. When he calmed and concentrated, he could faintly detect a new fluctuation, the primal origin of the cosmos. It was veiled, like something seen through layers of gauze, but even that faint sense shocked him. Under normal circumstances, only those at domain level 8 or 9 could barely perceive such a thing. After so long struggling forward, Yang Wu was exhilarated. Finally, he could sense the universe's origin. There's a change. He closed his eyes and held his mind still, cycling through the basic 312 forms. Ever since his talent suppression had eased, his clarity in feeling and using force had improved massively. For the past 2 years, after his talent rose to Bronze 3 and his force exertion reached 20-fold, his progress had stalled. Now he could feel his body responding and his control sharpening rapidly, faster than anything before. Is this what Silver 5 does? His eyes narrowed. My comprehension has leapt so far since Bronze 3. The system's cold assessment echoed in his mind. The gap between Bronze 3 and Silver 1 was already enormous. The gap between Silver 5 and Platinum 5 was greater still. No wonder the World Tree at Platinum 5, practicing basic human force, could casually grasp a blade intent. Yang Wu smiled. Since his talent had transformed, he would finish the main mission's accounting first. Main mission, Realm Within a Realm, completed. Mission rating, miraculous. Rewards tallying, please wait. When the results finished, Yang Wu's face lit up. Main mission completion, 945,200 mall coins obtained. Additional reward, 8,506 mall coins, 900%. Miraculous Blind Box 1. Talent slightly increased, Silver 4. Over 9 million mall coins. This was the largest haul Yang Wu had ever received. Not even the rewards he'd taken from Luo Feng compared. And a miraculous blind box, far superior to the high-level blind boxes he'd seen before. He had no idea what it contained, but after the World Tree sapling from a previous high-level box, he expected something very valuable. The slight talent bump to Silver 4 was also significant. If Silver 5 had let him sense the cosmic origin, Silver 4 would be even stronger. In a short moment, his talent had made consecutive jumps. But that's not all. I still have 12 potential points. Yang Wu grinned and didn't hesitate. He poured 10 points into talent, used 10 potential points. Talent slightly increased. Silver 3. System display, host name, Yang Wu. Race, human. Talent, Silver 3. Talent, secret methods. Clone, folded. Normal excitement, folded. Extraordinary mindset, folded. System space, primary blind box 1. Miraculous blind box 1. Clone, world tree. Race, special life. Talent, platinum 5. Talent, secret methods, control time and space, folded. Thorn rebound, folded. Tough life, incarnation, folded. Maul, folded. From Bronze 3 straight to Silver 3 in one sweep, insane. Yang Wu laughed inwardly. Silver 3 should be enough to rival Luo Feng and Golden Horn. Luo Feng during the Talent War, though Luo Feng had gone through his own transformation and obtained the Moshe clan clone. At the time of the Talent War, Luo Feng had been far weaker than Bolin, but after acquiring the Moshe clan clone, he had closed the gap within 30 years in Primordial Chaos City. That showed Luo Feng's transformation had at least reached gold tier and even surpassed Bolin in comprehension. Yang Wu didn't expect to immediately match Luo Feng's eventual heights, but he was pleased with the leap. Open the blind boxes. He figured there was no point hoarding them. He opened the primary blind box first. Congratulations, potential point 1, a solid reward. Then he opened the miraculous blind box. Congratulations, first level of the 9 Calamities secret manual. Yang Wu's eyes brightened. Is this the golden finger Zuo Shanke gave Luo Feng? He'd hoped to buy the first level manual with mall coins, but it had dropped directly from the miraculous blind box. If he could successfully cultivate the first level, his main body's life gene multiplier would triple, not added but multiplied. If his current multiplier was, say, 10 hems, it would be multiplied to 30 hangs. And the World Tree clone would scale the same way, shooting to a terrifying 9,000 times. If he later obtained the second level and cultivated it successfully, the World Tree's life gene multiplier would reach 10,081 times. a perfect level life, and he would gain an additional talent secret method. Just as Yang Wu moved to begin cultivating the first level, Babada pinged him. Luo Feng and the others wanted to see him. In the spaceship's control room, Luo Feng, Hong, and the Thunder God were all excited. Yang Wu was dividing the loot. According to Earth's old rules, I'll take 80%. I'll choose the important items first. You two can take 20% of what's left. Yang Wu. Hong shook his head. You did all the work this time. We only followed you into the realm within a realm. It feels wrong to take that much. We don't need it either. The Thunder God also declined repeatedly. Yang Wu wasn't persuaded. He had principles, and he intended this as repayment. His initial rise had depended on the Thunder God's 9 heavy Thunderblade. Hong had just granted him a valuable talent ability, and City Lord Luo was a major backer. Keeping their relationship tight was worth more than the immediate treasure. In the original timeline, Wei Wen, an idol figure, was even piled up into an undying by Luo Feng's resource spending. Luo Feng and the others weren't hypocrites. The treasure's value was indeed high. They quickly stopped objecting and began choosing from the remaining items. The Yunmo star lineage's Thunderpath treasures might not suit them perfectly. Yunmo specialized in Psyker mastery, but the Thunder God couldn't hide his interest. Let me see that Thunderpath secret method. I cultivate thunder too. Yang Wu produced 5 auxiliary optical computers that hovered above his hand, each containing a set of Thunderpath secret methods. There are 5 complete sets here, he said, offering them over. Chapter 132, 9,000 times. On the eve of the genius battle. Thunder God casually picked up 5 auxiliary optic devices and with practiced ease pulled the chips out of each one. He slipped one chip into his own sentient optic console and waited in silence. Soon, Luo Feng and Hong had made their selections as well. Just as in the original story, the Thunderpath secret method Thunder God chose contained a sentient intelligence, and he successfully obtained the golden-fingered grandfather. Cultivating the 9 Calamities secret manual is dangerous. Each calamity within it, if cultivation fails, causes a total collapse of soul and body, resulting in instantaneous death. Yang Wu's face was grave as he read the warning aloud. The first calamity, the manual continued for another 31,231 characters. Success meant genetic evolution. Failure meant the body's material structure would crumble into dust. Fortunately, I have a World Tree clone, Yang Wu told himself. And the World Tree possesses the Incarnation Talent secret method, so it can keep testing death's limits. A secret manual capable of defying heaven to push biological evolution and break universal rules was priceless, and too dangerous to let leak. With the source Will watching, he absolutely could not allow it to be exposed. The manual was envied throughout the cosmos. Even God King Zuo Shanke could only tolerate it by special means. Zuo Shanke had a golden finger, so he could survive the risks. If Yang Wu told Luo Feng or Babada, the primordial universe might silence them outright. On the first day of practice, Yang Wu lost 2 World Tree incarnations, and he was deeply shaken. Cultivating incarnations drained the World Tree's own energy. Advancing the World Tree was already hard. Losing 2 of its incarnations meant he would need a vast amount of nutrient fluid to restore them. Luckily, their gains from the World of Worlds had been enormous, enough to raise the World Tree to universe rank without difficulty. 7 days later, Yang Wu opened his eyes and smiled. He had spent those 7 days cultivating the first section of that nameless secret manual. He only had the first section of its contents. The World Tree's incarnation failed 7 times in total, but its physical strength nearly doubled. The World Tree clone cultivated with extreme caution, never reckless. It drew on the incarnation's experience and stopped as soon as it made a little progress. Once the incarnation accumulated enough experience, the World Tree would push again. Even so, the World Tree clone died once. Its massive body collapsed in an instant, which distressed Yang Wu. What surprised him pleasantly was that when the World Tree clone shattered, it turned into a sea of dust and ash that could be perfectly recombined into a new World Tree body. In other words, that debris was, energetically, equivalent to the World Tree itself. It made sense. Whether the World Tree collapsed or was reborn, all of it happened inside its dantian. Energy conservation applied. Fortunately, the incarnation completed the first calamity after a month. With that experience, both the main body and the World Tree clone advanced much more smoothly. Currently, Yang Wu's main body had reached a life gene level 30 times that of an ordinary being, while the World Tree clone had reached an astonishing 9,000 times. The first stage of the Nine Calamities secret manual was that powerful, ridiculously powerful. A pity I only uncovered the first calamity, he thought, shaking his head. But I can't be greedy. Getting this part by chance from a miraculous blind box is already a blessing. And there will be more opportunities to open miraculous blind boxes in the future, he reminded himself. Or if I save enough mall currency, I could even exchange for the manual's second stage. While Yang Wu was busy cultivating the first stage, Luo Feng and the others settled their own treasures. Yang Wu ended up with 150 primal chaos units and some valuable inventory items. Like controllers, warriors had 9 great divine weapons. 8 of these were forged by blending the 8 primary origin laws: metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, lightning, and light, with either of the 2 ultimate laws, time or space. The 9th, the supreme divine weapon, was forged by fusing time and space themselves. For example, Luo Feng's Yan Godblade combined the origin laws of metal and space and was extremely powerful. But the time-space blade, the ultimate warrior weapon fused from time and space, was even stronger. Its price was higher, yet given Yang Wu's windfall this round, he could afford it. He purchased the time-space blade for roughly 10 primal chaos units. The time-space blade suited Yang Wu perfectly. His World Tree clone was deeply compatible with the time and space origin laws and comprehended them astonishingly quickly. That advantage was something he wanted to capitalize on. The time-space blade was structurally simpler than the Yan Godblade. It was divided into 16 stages. The first stage required both time and space to reach the law threshold before the blade's power could be activated. The second stage required comprehension, comparable to the first stage of the Universe Tongtine Bridge. The third required the next level, and so on. The 16th stage demanded comprehension, comparable to the 15th stage of the Universe Tongchin Bridge. An undying with time and space comprehension at that level might already qualify for a Marquise title, and simultaneous mastery of time and space was far beyond the reach of an ordinary Marquise-level expert. To give perspective on costs, for a normal person to advance from Astral Rank Stage 1 to Universe Rank Stage 1 would require nutrient fluid worth roughly 10 billion universe coins. A World Tree clone with a life gene level 9,000 times greater would need about 90 primal chaos units of nutrient fluid. That would have been unthinkable for Yang Wu before, but now he could afford it. Still, immediately leaping to Territory Lord rank was out of the question. His clone was not subject to the many restrictions that bound Luo Feng's golden horned beast, and after buying enough nutrient fluid, he pushed his main body to the peak of astral rank. Unexpectedly, the clone could actually advance to universe rank. It seemed the clone didn't have the same ceilings and could even surpass his main body. Time moved on, and at the auction items like the Yan Godblade and the incomplete skin of the demonic killer race appeared, just as before. Yang Wu didn't bid for the demonic killer race skin. Ever since he obtained the 9 Calamities secret manual, even his main body's life gene level was 30 times normal. His first clone, the World Tree, was now a special life form at 9,000 times. Once such a being reached undying, its innate divine body would far outsize a human's. The demonic killer race was an energetic life with only ordinary human-level genes, far too inferior in comparison. Once you reached undying, a low life gene level was worthless. Yang Wu already possessed spatial law talent, a good one, and that small increase the demonic killer race would give him was negligible. Its heaven-defying talent replication was tempting, but not very consequential. With 2 auction slots left, he had to make his choices carefully. P.S. Last month's 100 monthly votes bonus chapter, Chapter 133, The Earth 4 and the Genius War. Yang Wu hesitated and decided to wait a while. If he couldn't find a better option for his second clone, he could always create a demonic killer race clone later. The demonic killer race's talent secret method, if used correctly, was extraordinarily powerful. Besides, Yang Wu already possessed time-space-related talent, He wasn't lacking in origin law aptitude. He could create any clone he wanted. What mattered was the special talent that clone brought. Conceiving a Nether Sea clone was also an option, if Nether Sea water could be obtained in the virtual universe. Time passed. Yang Wu and the other members of the Earth Four made steady progress. His World Tree clone had definitely achieved sufficient talent. As a result, Yang Wu no longer had to grind constantly like before. His human main body lacked time-space talent, so once he leveled up, most of his time went to mission work. When there were no missions, he focused on cultivating the time-space blade. No matter how deep his understanding of the time-space origin laws, he still needed to learn to wield them. After all, it would be the human main body that took part in the talent war, not the World Tree clone. Hong, since his trip to the World of Worlds, had also been cultivating hard, most often at the virtual universe battleground. Yang Wu seldom went there. His recent comprehension of the laws left him with few rivals, and bullying weaker opponents in the battle spaces offered only hollow satisfaction. Still, he entered the battleground occasionally. It was a place to learn as much as a place to fight. "Big brother, how's your cultivation going these days?" Thunder God asked Hong. The Earth Four had long since realized Yang Wu had opportunities of his own. Luo Feng had inherited the Yunmo star lineage, Thunder God had received the inheritance of World Lord Kabu, but Hong had no such external inheritance. He had to understand things on his own. Even so, Hong's insight was exceptional. In the original evaluations Mingyu had given them, Luo Feng and Thunder God were level 3 elite geniuses, while Hong was considered a level 1 elite genius. I spar with Yang Wu sometimes, but I clearly feel my progress slowing while yours seems to be accelerating, Hong admitted. Maybe it won't be long before even you pass me, Thunder God said with a helpless shake of his head. Hong had once been invincible and alone, powerful but lonely, rarely finding true opponents. That solitude had a bittersweet comfort. Now Yang Wu had overtaken him, and Luo Feng had pulled ahead as well. Hong could accept being surpassed by such talents, but the thought that Thunder God, whose gift he had once considered inferior, might soon eclipse him was difficult to swallow. "Big brother, you forget who you are," Thunder God smiled. "Remember when we were young during the Great Nirvana period, facing crisis after crisis, impossible odds, and you always turned the tide?" "Don't flatter me," Hong replied, glancing at Thunder God and then at Yang Wu and Luo Feng. Both Thunder God and Hong could enter states of profound calm and attunement. Thunder God with an ancient, well-like serenity, Hong with an ethereal merging into the environment. Decades of cultivation had brought them those states, but a cultivated state of mind didn't make accepting every change any easier. Hong had devoted almost his whole life to cultivation. The present reality left him a little unmoored. "How's your training going with that white-bearded old man?" Hong asked. "That old man's strict, and his methods are extreme, but effective," Thunder God said with a smile. "Little fellow, call me Lord Wu," the white-bearded old man's voice rang out at once. "Look at Yang Wu. Forget it. Don't compare yourself to him. It'll only dampen your enthusiasm. Look at Luo Feng. He's younger than you and already grasping origin laws. You've wasted years and still haven't surpassed your big brother. Starting tomorrow, I'll intensify your training." Hong redirected the conversation. "Yang Wu, the number of geniuses in the virtual universe battleground has surged. Astral rank experts with domains are appearing everywhere, and masters with repeated victories in decisive battle space are popping up. With that kind of emergence, something big is likely coming. Do you know anything?" They had long noticed that Yang Wu seemed to know things they didn't. If battlespace duels were suddenly showing such abnormal activity, it was easier to ask Yang Wu than to puzzle it out themselves. "A lot," Yang Wu blinked. His comprehension of space and time origin laws had deepened recently, so he rarely bothered with dual spaces and genuinely hadn't kept up with the battleground's latest. But Hong's words made him think. Several more years had passed. By his reckoning, a major event should be approaching. "The universe peak talent war might be coming," Yang Wu said, with a sigh. Hong, Thunder God, and even Luo Feng were unfamiliar with that name. Babata, however, knew. The Talent War and the Strongest War were grand, cyclical events held every 10,000 years. Hu Yambo, having lived through tens of millions of epochs, had participated in such events. Even if he hadn't personally seen all of them, the pattern was unmistakable. The timing fits, Babada's voice chimed in. Every 10,000 years, the universe holds two grand events. One is the strongest war for universe-rank powerhouses, organized by the Great Axe Battleground. The other is the Peak Talent War for astral-ranked geniuses. People like you can sign up. If I remember right, the next Universe Peak Talent War will be hosted by the Virtual Universe Corporation, and it's less than a year away. A law genius like Yang Wu can't miss an event like this. With his current level of comprehension, he could even vie for first place. As for Luo Feng, work hard and maybe he'll crack the top 1,000 in Ganwu Universe country. As for you two, forget about it and go back to sleep. Babada's blunt assessment hit Luo Feng, Hong, and Thunder God hard. Their eyes widened, then burned with renewed resolve. The three were stubborn by nature. They lived to chase the pinnacle of strength. A once-in-10,000 years event was an opportunity none of them could ignore. Haha! Once every 10,000 years! This is the start of Thunder God's fame across the universe. Thunder God laughed, pride swelling in his voice. You? Old Man Wu laughed outright. Babada's right. You won't even pass the preliminaries of Ganwu Universe Country. Chapter 134, Main Quest, Genius Battle. From Babada's words, it was clear he only knew about the talent war in passing. Babada, I respect you, Thunder God snapped, but don't underestimate people. I may not be as strong as Yang Wu, Luo Feng, or Big Brother, Babada replied, bristling, but I'm still an astral-ranked genius with a domain. Luo Feng felt Babada's tone was needlessly dismissive. He wouldn't speak for himself. He'd already crossed into the threshold of the Golden Origin Tao. But Thunder God at least had a domain and had swept through astral-rank foes many times in the slaughterhouse battle space with few defeats. What do you know? Babada said scornfully. Having a domain is common enough in small places like the Silver Blue Empire and the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Put you into the scale of the Ganwu Universe country, and you wouldn't even crack the top 100,000. Don't believe me? Let me tell you. Babada was at his best when discouraging others, especially Thunder God, but much of what he said rang true. Babada had adventured with the Yunmo Planet Master for years. His knowledge of the cosmos far exceeded theirs. Babada, is the Peak Talent War really that terrifying? Luo Feng asked. You have to understand, this is the human race's grandest event. It involves every universe country and all astral rank participants, Babada explained. In the slaughterhouse, you mostly ran into experts from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, so you all felt impressive. But out in the wider universe, the scale is entirely different. Yang Wu laughed and tried to ease the mood. Relax, even if we miss this one, there'll be other chances. Although Hong and Thunder God had missed this talent war in the original timeline, how many of those who did participate could match the achievements of these two? I'm not that fragile, Thunder God said. I was just surprised for a moment. The fiercer the competition, the more exciting. If it were just slaughtering weaklings in the slaughterhouse, what would be the point? Luo Feng said nothing, but inside he was more excited than anyone. He was simply the calmest outwardly. Soon the date arrived, March 9th, 2066. Above Black Dragon Mountain Island in the virtual universe, a huge black billboard with glowing edges materialized out of thin air. Its characters shone a piercing white. Cosmic Human Race, Peak Talent War. Once every 10,000 years. About to be held. Organized by the Virtual Universe Corporation and co-hosted by all universe countries. Are you a genius? Can't find opponents of equal rank? Then enter the Peak Talent War. Fight against billions of geniuses from countless universe countries across the entire cosmos. For details, log into the Virtual Universe Network official site via your virtual assistant. Continents and islands throughout the virtual universe erupted. A grand event for the entire human race. The Peak Talent War is starting. This is insane. Billions of geniuses battling. I heard the rewards for a high ranking are enormous. Everyone sign up. The announcement spread like wildfire in the real world too, reaching every human universe country almost overnight. Yang Wu remembered the date and immediately told Luo Feng, Hong, and Thunder God. The four exchanged satisfied smiles. They already knew the basics. This was a massive opportunity, and they had prepared long and hard. This is the peak talent war. Yang Wu mentioned. Thunder God laughed. It really is grand. How many will take part? All universe countries? Hong's eyes sharpened. Billions. Luo Feng's expression hinted at bloodlust. In his past life memory, the Ganwu universe country alone had over 820 billion participants. The human race had a total of 1,008 universe countries. The total number of geniuses could be in the hundreds of trillions. Even so, Ganwu was only about 800th in participation among the 1,008 nations, which suggested there were even larger pools elsewhere. Let's take a look, Yang Wu said, waving his hand as he opened the special topic. The Peak Talent War was open to all astral rank experts, 1st tier through 9th tier. Any astral rank could sign up. The competition had 2 stages, the Universe Country Selection War and the Peak Finals. Each major universe country would hold preliminaries to select elites. Those chosen would represent their country in the Cosmic Peak Finals. Final rankings would be determined by battle performance, and only the top 1,000 overall would receive the Virtual Universe Corporation's 3 main rewards. The first reward, prize money, ranging from 10 to 10,000 Primal Chaos units depending on rank. The second, a spot to enter the Primal Universe for comprehension, a 100-year term in the Primal Universe, equivalent to roughly 30 years in normal cosmic time. The third, status as an internal core member of the Virtual Universe Corporation. On their own, these prizes might not seem earth-shattering, but combined, they had everyone scrambling. A few months earlier, Luo Feng had seen a Primal Universe comprehension slot auctioned at the Ganwu auction for nearly 40,000 Primal Chaos units, just for a Heaven and Earth Secret Realm World Lord slot, effectively a babysitting position for young geniuses. Those prizes alone made the talent war irresistible. Then Yang Wu's screen pulsed, and a main quest triggered. You have triggered a main quest, Talent War. Quest description. The talent war is coming. This is the greatest opportunity. Do your best and charge. Quest hint. This is a long-term quest. The reward depends on your final result in the talent war. When the quest ends, failing to enter the overall top 1,000 means failure. Rewards are granted only if you rank within the overall top 1,000. The final reward varies by final ranking. To be honest, the quest didn't seem impossible. Yang Wu's combat power could likely exceed Luo Feng's by the time of the finals. Still, he knew he was no match for Bolin at present. Bolin was a once-in-10,000 epoch genius who had cultivated much longer. That said, Yang Wu had time. He estimated there were still 4 or 5 years until the Talent War finals, enough for more secluded cultivation. From the quest, it was clear the top prize required 1st place, so if he wanted the greatest reward, he would have to surpass Bolin. Chapter 135, 88 World Zone. The conditions offered are excellent. The bonus is generous, and you should know how rare a place in the Primal Universe is, especially as a core member. Babata said, glancing at Luo Feng and the others. The terms on the table are fit for super geniuses ranked among the universe's top 1,000. This is a great chance. All of you should try, he added, looking straight at Luo Feng and the others. Thunder God bristled. What do you mean, try? He was already domain level 7 and couldn't find a worthy opponent in the Black Dragon Mountain Starfield's battle space. He had long since begun challenging fighters above his tier. Is it really that hard for us to get into the top 1,000? Luo Feng was puzzled too. In pure domain level, he was only domain level 5 and slightly behind Thunder God. But his golden-horned beast talent had already put him on the threshold of the laws at domain level 5. He had begun to grasp how terrifying a genius who'd reached that threshold could be. You're underestimating the geniuses across the universe, Babata said bluntly. The Black Dragon Mountain Starfield is far from being the whole pond. There aren't many undying powerhouses, but there are countless astral rank cultivators who have become disciples of the undying across the 1,000+ universe countries. Some of them have exceptional talent, superior bloodlines, astonishing comprehension, relentless diligence, or special destiny-changing encounters. Many astral rank geniuses have also been cultivating for far longer than you have. As for Yang Wu, he's a freak. Breaking into the top 1,000, even the top 10 of the overall universe ranking, is no problem for him. As for you others, Hong is currently at domain level 8. If he breaks through, he might have a slim chance of making the top 1,000 in the Ganwu universe country. Everyone fell silent for a moment. Babata was unflinching in his honesty. Think about your biggest weakness, he continued. It's simple. Your cultivation time. Most on the universe stage have centuries of cultivation. So far, the longest any of you have cultivated is less than 100 years. All right, Babata, enough talking. Let's sign up. Yang Wu shrugged and casually opened the official registration page, signing up almost instantly. After Yang Wu registered, Luo Feng, Thunder God, and Hong all showed a burning eagerness to fight. The other three members of the Earth Four bristled with confidence and pride. They exchanged looks, laughed, and signed up without hesitation. News of the peak talent war spread fast. For astral rank geniuses, this was the greatest opportunity imaginable. Across the countless star systems and universe countries, billions upon billions of astral rank human geniuses yearned to prove themselves in the peak talent war. Renowned super geniuses from various regions, names like Bolin, Uka, Rongjun, along with countless other promising talents, were all turning their attention to this cross-universe competition. In the world of cultivation, there's no such thing as giving up ground quietly. The more talented and powerful someone is, the more proud they tend to be. No one submits easily. Not Bolin, not Uka, not Rongjun, nor Luo Feng, Hong, and Thunder God. Pride made them want to fight. You want me to bow? Then we'll see who's better on the battlefield. A month later, everyone received an official notice about the talent war. The details matched what Yang Wu had already known, with only minor clarifications. The number of registrants from the Ganwu universe country still exceeded 800 billion. Indeed, all astral rank cultivators could sign up, so participant levels were uneven. The selection would be conducted under absolute fairness. Battles would be held in the virtual universe, where every participant's physical qualities would be equalized to astral rank level 9. That meant Yang Wu's real-world advantage, his main body's terrifying 30-fold life gene level, would disappear. In the virtual universe, his basic strength and gene power would be the same as any other astral rank level 9. Those strange talents I acquired, I should still be able to use them, Yang Wu murmured, smiling faintly. The abnormal excitement that had upgraded into normal excitement remained his trump card. Even at its lowest burst, it would be his baseline attack strength, and at best he might snag a 4-fold critical strike. For reference, before someone became undying, the difference between adjacent minor ranks was only about 2-fold. Weapons were allowed, up to 10 force or psychic weapons of any grade. So the time-space blade Yang Wu had purchased in the real world would be allowed. However, high-grade force weapons, levels 4 and 5, required adequate comprehension and strength to wield properly. Otherwise, they were useless or even inferior to lower-level weapons. Defensive force battle suits were terrifyingly powerful, but competitors were limited to a maximum of level 2 force suits to correspond with the astral rank. The talent selection war was divided into 2 major stages. Stage 1. Each universe country would select its top 1,000 experts. Stage 2. The top 1,000 from each universe country would gather for final decisive battles to determine the universe-wide top 1,000. The first major stage itself had subdivisions. In the Ganwu universe country, where Yang Wu and the others lived, there were 2 main phases, the preliminary elimination and the arena decisive battle. Ganwu had over 822.5 billion registrants, and the preliminaries were divided into 100 world regions. That meant each world region contained roughly 8.225 billion competitors. From each world region, only the top 1,001 would advance to the next phase. Because so many were eliminated, the preliminaries would be brutally competitive. The champion from each world region would secure a direct spot among the overall top 1,000, so that immediately claimed 100 of the overall 1,000 spots. The remaining 900 spots would be fought over in the arena battles by the 100,000 competitors who finished behind each regional champion, 1,000 from each of the 100 regions. For example, Luo Feng, whose luck sometimes ran out, had once met Rongjun's hidden strength. Though he failed in an arena battle, the defeat actually became a turning point for him. On May 16th, China time, a massive number of participants began to converge and the preliminaries officially began. Over 820 billion people from the Ganwu universe country gathered to fight. Some met fortuitous encounters. Some uncovered extraordinary talents. Some found excellent teachers. Some simply possessed the iron will of a true cultivator. Everyone who dared to sign up believed in their own strength. Yangwu and the Earth Four were no exception. The preliminaries are divided into 100 world regions. I'm in Region 72. What about you? One of them asked. Haha, I'm in Region 88, big brother. I like that number. How about the rest of you? I'm in Region 88 too. Me? Region 1. Chapter 136. Preliminary round begins, order quired. Haha, Yangwu. If you meet him, show mercy, Thunder God said with a grin, turning to Yangwu. As long as you don't get eliminated before meeting me, Yangwu replied, smiling faintly. Luo Feng is in District 1. Good omen, Hong added, nodding to Luo Feng. Good luck helps, but strength decides everything. The slots aren't easy to get, Luo Feng said, scanning the crowd of distant figures. For astral rank powerhouses across the universe, this was the most important day. The first round of the Universe Peak Talent War qualifiers opened today. In the virtual universe, a gathering continent created for the Talent War would open its teleportation channels to all registered astral rank humans. At the appointed hour in the morning, countless teleportation lights flared across the silent continent. What did it look like when more than 820 billion people gathered in one place? So dense that a sea of people barely described it. The human race's many cultures and races made the scene even more varied. Some contestants towered over 10 meters, others were under a meter tall, like legendary dwarves. Groups of 3 to 5 clustered together, talking excitedly, including Yang Wu and his companions. Attention, everyone. The preliminary eliminations are about to begin. A collective teleportation will occur shortly, a clear voice boomed across the continent. At that time, each contestant will be teleported to their assigned world region. Please check your equipment now. Once the preliminary teleportation begins, you will not be able to request weapons, battle suits, or other supplies. Yang Wu and the others looked themselves over. He wore a blood-red, second-tier force battlesuit, a peculiar battle helmet, reinforced boots, and a space ring on his wrist. Shields, force knives, a sky shuttle, a time-space blade, and food were stored inside. Though simulated in the virtual universe, the weapons functioned exactly as they would in reality. Good luck, Yang Wu said to Luo Feng and the others. Haha, Yang Wu, you don't need to worry about us, Thunder God replied. He looked to Luo Feng and Hong. This opportunity is rare. We have to go all out, no regrets. We hope we can all make the top 1,000, at least pass the qualifiers and meet you in the arena, Hong added. They had all sparred with Yang Wu before, and most had been thoroughly outmatched. If Yang Wu couldn't make it through the qualifiers, then no one could. Don't worry, I can feel my blood boiling, Luo Feng said, excited. The qualifiers were a points-based elimination. The over 820 billion registered participants would be randomly assigned to 100 different world regions. On average, more than 8.2 billion people per region. Competitors fought in the same world, earning points by killing others. One life only, death ended the fight, and your points were halved, not erased. After 30 days, the preliminaries would end, and final point rankings would decide who passed. Those ranked in the top 1001 in their world region would advance. Collective teleportation is about to begin. Countdown, 60, 59, 58, the voice announced. Amid the vast crowd, the four of them exchanged looks. Good luck, Yang Wu said with a smile. We'll pass the qualifiers, Thunder God replied. Everyone, give it your all, Hong said. Teleportation is about to begin. Get ready, the voice called. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 2, 1. Teleport. The universal voice echoed in the ears of over 820 billion people on the gathering continent. Then, in an instant, every contestant on the Ganwu continent vanished. 100 separate worlds opened in the virtual universe, each world region housing over 8 billion people. The human race's peak talent war preliminaries had begun simultaneously across the major universe countries. This event drew attention from every corner of society, Not only ordinary people, but even the powerful, undying paid attention. Each universe country focused on its own preliminaries. Lesser civilizations hoped their contestants would perform well and eventually win a spot to represent their universe country, an honor that mattered greatly to places like the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, which had rarely cracked the top ranks in past eras. Yang Wu's assigned location was the virtual universe's 88th World District. During teleportation, his consciousness dipped and his vision blurred. After 3 seconds, it cleared. He found himself inside a peculiar pavilion, a living room with a nearby bedroom and bathroom, a comprehensive simulation. No one paid attention to the surroundings. Everyone was too nervous. Yang Wu remained alert for sneak attacks and surveyed the area carefully. He could have tried to sense others psychically, but he was a martial artist, not a psyker master. Fortunately, he had a domain he could use to detect nearby situations, but activating it would also reveal his presence. With the population density so extreme, even his formidable power wouldn't protect him from being overwhelmed if 1,000 weaker opponents struck at once. The gravity in this 88th World District is terrifying, probably hundreds of thousands of times that of Earth, Yang Wu muttered, feeling the oppressive pull. Having spent so long on Earth, the pressure made him slightly uncomfortable. He glanced at the arm guard screen on his wrist. It automatically received messages from the organizer, Virtual Universe Corporation, and explained the world he'd been sent to. The screen displayed dense text. Participant Yang Wu, Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Points, ranking, none. Current world region, 88th World District Qualifier. Duration, the preliminary elimination lasts 30 days. At the end of 30 days, winners will be determined by final points and rankings. Note, the 88th World District is a continent simulated and modeled on the appearance of Starry Star in the real Ganwu universe country. The continent has 88 cities. Beyond them lie vast wilderness and mountain regions. Chapter 137, Kill the Contestant, Order Required. Actually, the total land area was only a little over 9 million square kilometers, not even as large as China. With over 8.2 billion experts packed into such a small space, the per capita land occupation is much higher than on Earth's China, Yang Wu said gravely. The fighting will be intense. I wonder where Thunder God is. Then again, that's good. It's a lot easier to find opponents, and scoring points should be simpler, Yang Wu added with a faint smile. The rules were straightforward. Kill a participant, and you gain 1 point, plus half of the opponent's points. In other words, killing experts could yield far more points. Survivors who accumulate massive points later on are worth far more than dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of early victims. When a participant is killed, their preliminary round ends immediately, and they lose half their points. Boom! A sudden detonation rang out in the distance. Yang Wu looked up to see the glass on one floor of a far-off skyscraper explode. 2 figures crashed through the windows, then floated midair and continued to battle. More bangs followed, one after another, quickly sparking skirmishes and roars that spread across the city like a fuse being lit. Every person here had a universe rank level 9 body, and the amplified force they could exert made each strike devastating. On an ordinary planet, a single hit from a universe rank 9 could level a city. If not for the fact that the buildings, the ground, and countless other structures in the 88th World District had been reinforced to B9 grade hardness, the city would have been erased long ago. Even with B9 protection, it could at most endure 8.2 billion universe rank 9s clashing for a month. Have they started? Yang Wu smiled slightly and stepped outside. He met a participant almost immediately, proof of how easy it was to run into someone here. The man wore battle armor, a helmet and boots formed from force armor. He carried an axe in each hand and stood about 5 meters tall. He grinned with obvious confidence. "You're the first." Without hesitation, the burly man charged. His battle boots stomped so hard the living room tiles cracked. The axe in his left hand traced a lethal arc through the air and came down toward Yang Wu's head. "You're asking for death," Yang Wu sneered. Under the force surge, the charging man felt a sudden tremor at his feet, and his body wavered. His axe blade seemed to shudder, a gap appearing where none should be, and then 2 pale, jade-like hands, one in front, one behind, shot through. How is this possible? The man's face drained of color, horror replacing confidence. But Yang Wu's movements were as smooth as a breeze. The second-tier force armor groaned under the strain, and Yang Wu crushed it with his left hand. He didn't pause. The palm formed into a fist and unleashed a flurry of blows, each strike driving into the man's chest. The assailant didn't even scream. He was launched backward and smashed into a pavilion with bone-crunching force. "These days I've been spamming Time-Space Blade non-stop," Yang Wu said with a grin. Using this feels rough and crude by comparison. Constantly lifting 100 jin to the limit, then going back to lifting a few jin, made the lighter effort feel effortless. Activating Time-Space Blade was a pain. A casual punch infused with time-space comprehension might be weaker than the blade, but it was more than enough to slaughter ordinary participants. As expected, the points were pitifully few. Yang Wu glanced at the screen on his wrist. The points and ranking updated immediately. Participant, Yang Wu, Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Points, 1 ranking, 584,587,820. 8.2 billion people, 88 cities, less than 100 million per city on average, Yang Wu murmured, shaking his head. Getting first place would still be difficult. It wasn't that he lacked the power, he could definitely outfight most people. But it was unrealistic to rely on himself to eliminate all challengers in a single city. Even if he slaughtered an entire city, that wouldn't guarantee first place in the entire world district. In the original timeline, Rongjun's displayed combat power alone would have easily secured first in the 88 world region, yet he failed. If you raised your head too high and drew the attention of tens of thousands of experts, even a universe rank could meet a regrettable end. Every participant here was exceptional. Most had at least one comprehended domain. "I'll clear out the nearby people first," he decided. "The preliminaries last 30 days. I'll stay in this city for the first 15, then roam to others for the remaining 15. In the early stages, any city was acceptable. Surviving into the later stages meant one kill could be worth 100 points or more. To secure first place overall, though, he'd have to hunt down the top fighters in each city. No sooner had he made the plan than another participant lunged out, a sliver of blade light aiming straight for Yang Wu's throat. The light struck, yet Yang Wu's gaze didn't flinch. The attacker's eyes went wide with disbelief, as if his motions had slowed. Maybe his body wasn't slower, perhaps his thoughts were, or perhaps Yang Wu's movements were simply faster. Bang! Yang Wu condensed his 5 fingers into a fist print and slammed down. A scream split the air as the flying corpse hit the ground, spitting blood and writhing in agony. After dispatching the man, Yang Wu rose and scanned for others. Around the pavilion, besides the 2 he'd already killed, Yang Wu found 78 more. They were stunned by his audacity. To them, he seemed to be using origin laws, but even without invoking origin laws, Yang Wu's 9th-level time-space domain was enough to slaughter gifted fighters, except those at the very threshold of true mastery. Some of these people might have been comparable to the present Thunder God in raw strength, but none could withstand a single punch from Yang Wu, and those who tried to flee were caught by his time-space domain and cut down. As expected from the peak talent war, those who sign up are at least absolute prodigies in their star systems, Yang Wu sighed, impressed by the general caliber of the participants and a little amused at their misfortune for running into him. He walked back onto the street and eyed a skyscraper 100 meters away. "There are over 400 people in there. That'll do," he said, sweeping his domain. His eyes flashed with anticipation. Chapter 138. Hundreds of Phantoms of Yang Wu. Please order. Before Yang Wu could fly forward, 2 cold voices rang out. Truly, the ignorant are fearless. How dare he sweep through with his domain? The preliminary round had just begun, the moment when challengers were most concentrated. Aside from Yang Wu, most people acted cautiously, afraid of being ganged up on. The 2 speakers were quite strong and had planned to pick off stragglers. They hadn't expected Yang Wu to sweep through with his domain and reveal them hiding in the shadows. Worse, Yang Wu floated into the air as if he feared no ambush. Boom! Yang Wu took a step. As his figure flickered, he produced 2 illusory bodies and appeared directly in front of the 2, as if teleporting. Only the imprint of Yang Wu's descending fist was visible. In their eyes, Everything else seemed to vanish. All that remained was that pale fist. I can't take this punch. I don't want to die. Their faces contorted, their bodies swayed, their spines trembled like great dragons. The primal energy within them surged hotter. They crouched slightly, raising their shields diagonally upward, bracing for the blow. Their eyes were mad with unwillingness. The next moment, Yang Wu's descending fist imprint struck the shields. Bang, bang. Violent gusts rolled outward from the two. Primal energy churned and scattered like rain, clearly pushed to its limits. Even so, Yang Wu's fist force far exceeded their expectation. On contact, an unimaginable, strange force rushed through their bodies. The bluestone floor beneath them exploded in a spray of fragments, dense cracks spidering outward. Ah! They screamed, spitting mouthfuls of blood. The sound of bones breaking echoed through their bodies. Yang Wu's display was noticed by everyone in the building. Have you decided how you want to die? Yang Wu retracted his fist, lifted his head, and looked around with a half smile at the contestants slowly closing in. His voice rolled like thunder through the ears of the hundreds gathered. Although dozens surged to surround him, none dared strike the godlike figure. Those farther back, deeming themselves weak, quietly slipped away. Brother, we have no grudges. Must you be so ruthless? No grudges? Yang Wu sneered, glancing at the fearful faces. He had never tried to hide his strength. He didn't waste words. He stamped once, let out a long howl, and his whole body surged, slamming into the ground. He fully unleashed himself. Swish, swish, swish. One illusory body, 2, 10, 100. His illusory forms multiplied without stopping. Dense ranks of Yang Wu's rained down punches, thunder and rumble mixing. Each opponent became a target of an illusory body, and slaughter began. Puff, puff, puff. Contestants around him were blown apart by successive blows. Geniuses fighting elsewhere caught sight of the sudden hundredfold manifestations and went rigid with terror. Eyes widened, faces blank with disbelief. My goodness, hundreds of illusory bodies, this. They all knew that manifesting a single illusory body meant one had crossed the threshold in comprehension of the space origin law. To manifest hundreds, if a Psyker Master did this, it would mean reaching the 100-line flow level, deep within it. How is that possible? Hundreds of illusory bodies. Who exactly raised this peerless genius? Comprehension of the space origin law at that scale, surpassing many world lord powerhouses. To reach that level while still at astral rank is terrifying. Such a genius belongs to our Ganwu Universe country. Our Ganwu Universe country will prosper. I didn't expect such a monstrous genius to appear in this session of the Ganwu Universe country. He must be the best in the country. Yang Wu's eyes flickered with strange light. He suddenly shot into the sky. The neighborhood around the residential building was picturesque, but the ground here was littered with shattered glass, dried blood, and corpses. The Virtual Universe Corporation made the simulation realistic. When someone was killed, their body remained. So few points, Yang Wu muttered, glancing at the screen on his wrist. Participant, Yang Wu, Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Points, 487, rank 8,552,100th. He swept the area casually. Anyone he encountered or anyone caught by his domain was killed. Contestants he met could not withstand his casual punches. Even some domain contestants who might have challenged the top 1,000 in the world region were powerless and were eliminated the first day they crossed him. Puff, puff. Almost every second someone fell and corpses began to litter the streets. A single world region had over 8 billion contestants spread across 88 cities, nearly 100 million contestants per city. The density was terrifying. Yang Wu eventually stopped checking his wrist. It was only the first day. No matter how many he killed, most were worth only 1 point, meaningless for his ranking. The first day passed quickly. At night, he found an attic and rested. The next day, he casually looked at his wrist screen again. Participant, Yang Wu, Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Points, 45,455, rank 56,415. Yang Wu's expression was calm. Over 40,000 points on the first day was quite good. In truth, not many experts had swept such a large area from the start. He shrugged inwardly. No choice, that's enough for now, he thought. I'll make my move in a few days. Let those geniuses earn some points first. The previous day, he had personally killed at least over 30,000 astral rank geniuses. Since entering the Devouring the Heavens world, he'd been eagerly waiting for the talent war to begin. Now that it had, even with the extraordinary temperament he'd acquired from Hong, he couldn't stop himself from using slaughter to quiet the excitement in his chest. "I'll strike on the 10th day," he decided. "Sweep this city in 5 days, then spend the remaining 15 days visiting the other 87 cities one by one." Chapter 139, Ranking Soars, Order Required. After Yang Wu went into seclusion, the city finally calmed. It no longer writhed in the chaos that marked his earlier rampages. Around the same time, Luo Feng quietly retired to a spot in the First World District and began to cultivate, waiting for the initial free-for-all to die down before he started his own killing spree to rack up points. Cautious by nature, Hong made a similar choice and kept a low profile. Only Thunder God, impatient to wait, launched a wild slaughter in the 88th World District. For a while, his name rang out through the city, fame that would, in the end, help bring about his downfall at the hands of a barbarian. Across the 100 world districts, participants could fly only up to around 9,000 meters. Above that sat an invisible barrier. Flight was forbidden and could not be forced. The talent war wasn't broadcast. If you wanted to watch the preliminaries, you had to go to the World District Barrier and take an overlooking spaceship, and the fees were exorbitant. At this moment, ships drifted slowly along the barrier. On one of them were faces familiar to Yang Wu and others from Earth. Through the external virtual view, they looked down on the continent, where the cities below were drenched in blood and riven by frenzied battles. "Mom, why is Dad's ranking dropping all the time?" Luo Feng's younger son, Luo Hai, bit his lip and stared at the virtual screen in his hand. The screen showed 3 leaderboards, the 1st, the 72nd, and the 88th World Districts. Each list had locked onto a single cluster of names: Luo Feng in the 1st, Hong in the 72nd, and Yang Wu and Thunder God in the 88th. "You don't know?" Luo Ping, Luo Feng's other son, said. "Dad's preserving his strength." Preserving strength? There are 8.2 billion people down there. Who could be Dad's opponent? He shouldn't need to hide. Luo Hai glared. On the 10th day of the preliminaries, Yang Wu, who'd kept silent for days, moved again. Now that the participants have fattened up a little, it's time, he thought. Then my slaughter should begin. He shot up into the sky, exposing himself. His domain swept outward. Because the gravity in the district was brutally strong, even a 9-fold domain could only spread about 900 meters at most. 900 meters was enough, though. With that sweep, he could cover roughly half of a nearby residential district. The probe revealed hidden presences, and the living below sensed him. Figures poured from the surrounding apartment blocks and converged. "This one survived 10 days? Must not be an idiot," a dark, broad-shouldered young man sneered, brandishing a blood-red curved saber. "Count, 11. Yang Wu's gaze slid over the 11 people who'd stepped forward. Survivors at this stage weren't ordinary. Their points were probably higher than his. He'd provoked them by sweeping the district with his domain. When one man barked the order to attack, 5 others moved at once. "Attack!" A youth in black combat armor shouted and launched an invisible mental assault into Yang Wu's sea of consciousness. 2 young men who looked like brothers leapt forward together, their sharp swords cracking like lightning. From farther off, streaks of silver and gold shot in, psychic blades fired by a psychic master's mental force. The air hummed with killing intent. But the mental strike washed over Yang Wu with no effect. Since he'd absorbed Hong's extraordinary mindset, his will and soul had become unusually strong. The attack slid off without even a ripple. Subtle fluctuations danced around him. He moved a phantom body and slipped through the strikes as if through mist. To be able to create phantom bodies by manipulating space, he must have stepped into the threshold of space origin law. Space origin? The 11 exchanged glances. Space origin law was a higher-tier law, almost impossible to comprehend. Even among all the astral-ranked geniuses across the Ganwu universe, fewer than 1,000 had reached the threshold of a lower-tier origin law. "Die!" Yang Wu thought, and phantom bodies of himself flickered into being, 11 in all. Each opponent who'd confidently shown his face died with a single precise punch from one of those phantoms. Blood spattered, faces slackened. The city fell silent, but for the distant wail of wind. Killing like this is satisfying, Yang Wu murmured, a flash of excitement in his eyes. What used to be 1 point per kill now yielded thousands, even tens of thousands. Each corpse meant a surge of points and another step up the ranking ladder. Around the World District barrier, spectators whispered, "Experts, are they really from the Ganwu universe's billions of galaxies? If someone forces him to go all out, maybe we'll finally see his full strength." But none of the hiding survivors could push him that far. Yang Wu didn't even pick up a weapon. He walked through the devastated city, where corpses lay in the streets and the dust of battle hung thick. His domain probed corridors and basements, drew out those who'd tried to hide, and slaughter followed slaughter. Point by point, his tally climbed. His ranking rose steadily. The survivors who'd made it this far had amassed many points, so every minute of killing awarded him massive gains. It was a slaughter in the truest sense, one side, utterly dominant. By the 15th day of the preliminaries, the winds howled across the ruined city, and the metallic tang of blood hung in the air. Yang Wu walked alone down cracked streets. The city was empty. Chapter 140, Kill Through, the exciting Black Dragon Mountain Empire, please order. Everyone in the city, every competing team, fixed their gaze on Yang Wu as he flew above the plaza. They didn't know him personally, but their goal was the same. Butcher, that's the butcher. How arrogant! Kill him! We're fighting to the death. Give it everything you've got. Even if we die, we'll take him with us. They were all elite prodigies from their respective factions, naturally prideful, but Yang Wu's provocation had pushed them past restraint. They knew only by killing him here could they guarantee their own survival. One after another, they unleashed their trump cards: sovereign domains, psychic weapons, soul attacks, an overwhelming barrage aimed at Yang Wu. Suddenly, a vast domain erupted. It was terrifyingly powerful. The city began to fracture. Space-time itself compressed, tearing apart inch by inch. Stranger still, the city's space-time folded into layers, spatial planes and temporal currents intersecting and pressing down. The layers of reality stacked and crushed everything beneath. No, I don't want to die. I have to escape. But after the space-time domain detonated, the city was silent. The center of the metropolis sank into a huge basin. Contestant Yang Wu, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points 3,265,115, ranking 502. His combat power was indisputably extraordinary, enough to dominate the entire 88th World region. But becoming number one required more than strength. A degree of luck was necessary as well. Above the 88th World District, inside a magnificent starship, a group of young nobles sipped wine and enjoyed delicacies. They were not commoners. Most were princes and princesses from mid- and lower-tier civilized nations under the Ganwu universe country. Ha! The first place in the 88th World District is still a powerhouse from our universe country's direct starfield. He comes from my Ganwu secret realm, laughed a squat man, roughly half a meter shorter than the others, wearing a luxurious robe and holding a wine glass. Not bad, Luotuer. The Pengyu Empire's showing is good too. Several of their people are in the top 1,000, said another. The Pengyu Empire was one of the stronger mid-level nations and consistently produced many elites. A woman with a single braided plait and a strange gemstone set in her forehead smiled and bowed in thanks. Then she asked, teasing, "Buluolin, why haven't I seen anyone from your Black Dragon Mountain Empire? No one in the top 1,000 again." Buluolin, the most powerful prince of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, stood nearby, uncomfortably smiling. In the virtual universe, as in real life, alliances and circles mattered. Princes, crown princes, and princesses all kept tabs on each other. Having no representatives among the top talents was embarrassing. Yes, Buluolin, your empire's geniuses have been slipping. I remember last Talent War, the Black Dragon Mountain Empire didn't even make the top 10,000. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire is remote. Its strength has waned. Their recent results have been poor. The preliminaries aren't over yet. The final rankings could still change, Buluolin forced out, trying to sound optimistic. He felt shame burn behind his smile. Regional pride and imperial prestige ran deep in their circles. If the Black Dragon Mountain Empire produced a super genius in this talent war, the entire empire would swell with pride, and rival nations would look at them differently. Look, Someone from your Black Dragon Mountain Empire just burst forward. He's jumped into the top 1001. Now he's 502nd. Yang Wu's sweep through the city had sent his ranking rocketing upward, and many nearby noticed. Buluolin immediately brightened and turned to the large display screen. The list of empires and their temporary qualifying quotas flashed. Black Dragon Mountain Empire, preliminary quota, temporary equals 1. This Yang Wu has been spiking since the 10th day. In one wave, he's climbed nearly 1,000 places, one courtier remarked. 502nd. Even if he dies now, he might still secure a top 1,000 spot. No. Leaping over 1,000 places to hit 502 means his strength is tremendous. He won't be easy to take down. Open the detail view, Buluolin said quickly to the intelligence system. Beep. A smaller screen popped up beside the main one, displaying a line of data. 88th World District, 502nd place, Yang Wu, Black Dragon Mountain Empire. I know all the geniuses in the empire, but who is this Yang Wu? Buluolin murmured, puzzled. Because Yang Wu had caused trouble back in the realm within realm, and Buluolin had not been involved there, he hadn't been caught up in those events. He didn't even know Luo Feng, let alone Yang Wu. Yang Wu? Looks like even you don't know him, Buluolin. Unexpected, but this one's from your empire. At least you're not at the bottom this time, someone teased. Across the system, many factions, nations, and individuals quickly recorded the name Yang Wu. For the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, the news was electrifying. Officials and citizens alike flooded command channels. Haha, our Black Dragon Mountain Empire finally has someone crack the top 1,000. Investigate him immediately. Find out who this Yang Wu really is. In the luxurious, sprawling hall of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's flagship, thousands of top officials and nobles had gathered. Events like the Universal Humanity Peak Talent War were grand affairs that involved all civilized nations. Every empire watched closely. Congratulations, Your Majesty. The hall erupted in cheers and applause as officialdom celebrated. Emperor Jiang Fan, clad in a dark black imperial robe, laughed with genuine delight. In the last talent war, the Empire's highly anticipated astral-rank geniuses had been eliminated in the preliminaries, a blow to imperial prestige. Yang Wu's surge into the top 1,000 had repaired some of that lost face. What Jiang Fan did not know was how many eyes this sudden breakthrough had drawn. The citizens of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire were thrilled and proud. Across planets and starports, billions of ordinary people watched and rooted for Yang Wu, hoping he would climb even higher. P.S. Monthly ticket extra chapter. Still owe one recommendation extra chapter. You've all been too enthusiastic these past few days. I'm still out having a blast, so I grabbed time in an internet cafe to write an extra chapter and let my liver recover some HP.